We didn't get the bumper video ready tonight.
What'd you do?
Who's running this show?
What'd you do? I don't think I can do it because when I'm playing here we go. Oh yeah, because you have to do it from a file because we can't do it from the
Right.
video that's uploaded in here anymore.
Right.
Bummer.
And then so I realized it halfway through the countdown. So I went to get the file, but then it was blocking the countdown and I couldn't see exactly when it was going to get to 0 to time it out. So that's definitely something we have to do ahead of time.
Yeah, it's all good. Let's see. Let me get back to. All right. Yo, YouTube. Look who's back. The Chuck Man.
That's me.
Yes.
Back from the dead.
He's back. The Brewers stink. Everything is all right in the world. Yes.
Do they stink? What are I haven't looked at the standings. Do they still have enough of a lead?
I'm pretty sure they have a good lead here. Let's take a look here. MLB.
Last I heard, I thought it was 5 games or something like that.
I think the Cubs won yesterday and the Brewers lost. I think that shrunk it to 4, but
okay.
Let me see. We need where's the darn National League? Why is the National League always last on these lists?
What do you mean?
Yeah, it's 5 games. 5 games. Brewers up by 5. Their last 10, they're 4-6 though, so that's quite a far ways away from their random 13-win streak thing.
Oh yeah, those hot streaks always come to an end at some point, right?
And kind of turn into cold streaks usually.
Yeah. Baseball's an up and down game.
Yeah, big time. But I mean, both teams look pretty good. They're both going to be in the playoffs. We'll see where it goes.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think there's quite a bit of head-to-head that has to be played yet too. They usually put a lot late on the schedule because it's more, entertaining that way. But yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
But nobody else in the division is anywhere close. So it's between us and, I mean, even the Cardinals are 16.5 back. That's crazy.
Yeah.
They're always in the mix,
Well, they used to be when they had Yachty and guys like that.
It's true. That is true. All right. Well, that'll be fun. That'll be fun to ride that through the end of the season. I'm looking forward to it. When the Brewers fail out in the playoffs, like usual, that'll be a topic. We'll make sure we put that on that week's live. Live show for entertainment value. All right. So we've got just a couple of things we wanted to talk about tonight, and then we're going to kind of open it up to some chat. Because we've been very busy and sick and lots of things going on. We didn't really put together a whole lot of ideas ahead of time like we normally do. But I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. That allows us a chance to really let the chat participate and drive some of the conversation, which is the whole point of the show, right?
Well, just let Stu take over.
Yeah. He only speaks one language, and it's really only one word. And then you just kind of have to decipher what he means in that one word.
It can get a little monotonous.
Yeah, just a little. But anyway, last week we had Benji on as our guest host, so went really well. Thanks to Benji. I don't know if he's watching this. I'm sure he'll watch it eventually. But we appreciate you. We're looking forward to you being at the GOAT Show again and sharing the fun at that show and doing some breaks and stuff and some giveaways, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. Let me see if I can pull this up here. I have to get our flyer up.
Oh, I got it ready if you want it.
Do it. I was trying to be like the tech guy now. Like I thought that was my thing.
I know. You go 1 week and you think you're the tech master now.
Yeah, pretty much. I know yours looks better than mine. So GOAT Show sold out. It's been sold out now for, I don't know, a week and a half, 2 weeks, something like that. Started a wait list. We've pretty much already got enough to fill a couple of rows in the extra section. So we're going to be expanding like we have the last few shows, and I suspect that will continue.
Yeah.
Card shows are just hot right now. But Goat Show Sunday, September 28th at the historic Riverside Ballroom, 9 to 2 p.m. Join us. We got free packs for the kids when you come in. We've got some free toys and some stress relievers for those who get nervous in crowds type of thing. We want everybody to come, be comfortable, have some fun. We're gonna have some goats hidden around the show for you to find and get yourself some goat bucks you can spend at the show. Hide the goats. We got a golden goat, which will get you $25 to spend at any dealer's table. So we're looking forward to that. Been talking to a lot of the dealers. Are very excited about the show too. And just September shows are just it's a great time of year. Football's just kicking off. There you go. Baseball's getting ready to get in. Yeah, the goat jumps over there. Baseball's getting ready to kind of, tie up its regular season and, yeah, exactly. Watch the Cubs beat the Brewers. All that good stuff is going to happen. So, so September shows are just always fun. It's always one of my favorite times of year. It's not too hot. It's not too cold. No snow, all those good things.
Sometimes it's hot and cold in the same day.
Yes, it is. Yes,
yeah.
I would agree with that. Yeah, you can get snow and then a wind and then a heat wave and then wind chill, and yeah, it's a thing here. But hopefully we won't experience that. Hopefully we'll just have a nice day for the show. That's what we're counting on.
Hard to believe we're less than a month away already.
Less than a month away. Yes, I kept thinking about it. I'm like, oh, it's September. Then, oh yeah, it is September now. September's weird because it always starts on that like holiday. So I think it just throws you off with the turnover to the new month. But anyway, we've got some great giveaways. We've got the Ha Ha Clinton Dix game issued jersey or on-field jersey, whatever you want to call it, Nike. The all-sewn jersey, really nice. We've got the Ha Ha Clinton Dix autographed poster. So those of you who are fans of Ha Ha, we got some stuff for you. We'll have a couple other giveaways we haven't added to the list yet. We've got it's going to be free admission, lots of parking. We're collecting donations for the Oneida food pantry in our area. So please bring a non-perishable food item to get a free ticket for the drawing for those giveaways. I believe we're going to have a Pokemon giveaway too, but I keep asking about that and I haven't gotten a final confirmation on it. So I'm not going to announce that until I actually know. No trolling here. But anyway, so yeah, bring a food item, get a ticket to enter into the drawing. If you don't want to bring anything, $1 for a ticket, and you can get entered into those drawings. Free packs for the kids. I think I mentioned that. We have live breaks from BB Breaks. He's gonna be set up on the stage. The breaker's gonna be on the stage. They're gonna have the monitors there, so you can watch them pulling cards live. We pulled a Jaden Daniels Uptown, I think, last show, right?
Was it an Uptown or downtown?
I thought it was an Uptown. Okay. Well, either way, that's
one of the
card,
towns.
Right? Yeah, I mean that's a basically a case hit card of the best rookie of the year, right. In a very chaste insert set. So pretty cool. Come watch. You can buy into the breaks right there and participate. Otherwise, you can just watch, have fun, and cheer when the sweet cards get pulled. Our show focuses a lot on having different items at it. So we've got some non-sport dealers, we've got some gaming dealers, we've got dealers who are selling Chinese cards. We've got obviously lots of different sports cards. We've got some high-end stuff, some dollar box stuff, so something for everybody. There's some toys, wax, all kinds of things. So join us, have some great food. We never know what the food menu is going to be. It's part of the exciting sort of announcement at the show is, hey, this is what we've got this time. And the food's always good. So you can't go wrong there. Very, very, very affordably priced. So yeah, come have fun with us, have a drink. And we have some seating areas for you to sit and take a break, open some packs, share with your friends. and good times there. Charlie and I will be doing a live show from the stage there. We'll be right next to the breakers. And, with the backs to the show floor, so you can kind of get a feel for what's going on. And I'll be high energy because it'll be in the morning. So that's good. And we'll show you
With
some
your
of our
wire.
Right.
Or Kickstart. That's
Kickstart.
what you like, isn't it?
Yeah, Kickstart. I used to like the Rise. They don't make the Mountain Dew Rise anymore. Now Kool-Aid makes a product called Rise, RHYSE. That's pretty good. Same concept, just a different manufacturer. But anyway, Charlie and I usually do some early pickups from the dealers, before the show opens. So we'll show some pickups, maybe open some packs on the live video as well. So looking forward to that. Hopefully you can join us. If not, catch the live stream and at least be able to join us virtually for the show for a little while that day. But Sunday, September 28th, Riverside Ballroom, 9 to 2. Hope to see you there.
You got it.
And we're sold out. So if you're going to come as an attendee, lots of dealers to choose from, lots of great inventory. The dealers, and they wanted me to point this out last time, and for this always kind of slips my mind for some reason, but they're buying. The dealers are buying. So even if you're like, well, I don't collect cards, but I have these cards in my closet, I don't know what to do with them, bring them on in. We'll take, the dealers will evaluate what you have, make you a fair offer, and if you choose to sell, that's a great way to do it. And I buy from people coming in to sell all the time, and it's a great way to do it versus putting an ad on Facebook or, you don't know the value of them, things like that. You can at least get a fair quote.
Funny you mentioned that because just this afternoon I was in the office and somebody was passing me in the hallway and said, "Hey, Charlie, I've got about 10,000 cards at home that I haven't done anything with. Would you be interested in looking through those and seeing if you're interested in them?" So that's the kind of thing that our dealers love to hear too. Just bring that stuff in and let them take a look at it. I know I'm going to take a look at this stuff. I said, bring in a couple boxes on a Friday and I'll look through them over the weekend. I'll sort them out for you for commons and good stuff. And we'll see if we can make an offer.
Yeah. I think that's actually kind of the way a lot of shows are going now. I mean, even at the National, how many tables did we walk by where it was always buying, paying cash, buying collections, buying singles, looking for wax, blah, blah, blah. I can't remember a National in all the ones that I've went to where there was that much of that, like need inventory, looking to buy. So there's just, for as much stuff has been printed and it's been overprinted the last few years, there's still demand. There's demand for all of it. I was watching, I don't get to watch Bo's show very often, but I watched a little bit of it yesterday, and he was talking about how in his live selling, he's getting like $10 for 1991 Fleer baseball packs on open packs. And I'm like, that's crazy. You couldn't get rid of those in a quarter bin for the longest time. And so it just goes to show that, things can change in the market. There are those who grew up on 1991 Fleer packs and they want a nice sealed pack for their collection and they're willing to pay. So yeah, hobby's alive. Last month, I think, was the largest amount of card sales on Card Ladder ever, like dollar amount.
Okay.
For 1 month, so that's a good sign. And there were some big sales. You had the big Kobe Jordan card sold for $12 million, or that's a big one. There's some really big Messi cards that finally moved. Some more rare stuff that I'm guessing it's a collector who had them that let some of those happen, enter the market. But regardless, it still shows there's always a lot of action, a lot of activity, a lot of demand in the markets.
Yep, for sure.
Pokemon's still hot. Non-sports has really become, hotter. More people are getting involved in that. And there's some new non-sport sets coming out that are really good. And a lot of Garbage Pail Kids has been really hot. Like the 40th anniversary Garbage Pail Kids stuff came out. I don't know if you know this, like, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago.
I did see that release, yeah.
I went in like 2 days after it came out to both of the card shops, and they were both sold out like instantly. I'm like, of Garbage Pail Kids? Like, what the heck is going on?
Is the subtitle like the worst of the Garbage Pail Kids?
Yeah, the worst of Garbage Pail. So yeah, I mean, there's just a lot happening, a lot moving, and that's a good sign. This past holiday weekend was insane. It's the most cards I ever sold in one weekend. And I've been doing this for a while. You know, I've got a sales day video, by the way, coming out tomorrow. I did put one out last week, so you know, not going to pat myself on the back, but I just patted myself on the back. By the way, I just made another one. I finished it up tonight, so I'll get everything going tomorrow and put together and uploaded. But yeah, Whatnot sales have been really good for me, and you know, Collects has been somewhat steady. I have an order here or there, you know, every day or two. Mm-hmm. So yeah, just found some great ways to expand and get some more action. And as I'm building that Whatnot following, because I'm getting a lot of followers out of it too, and following back. Whatnot's interesting. When someone follows you and you follow them back, now you're considered friends. Did you notice that? Yeah. I mean, it kind of made me chuckle. Like, you are now friends. I'm like, I don't know who this person is, but okay. So we're dealer friends, right? Or card friends. So it's I think it's going to get really interesting. I think there's going to be more and more action coming. eBay Live just happened, and they made a big change where you're going to get automatic feedback now when your delivery is successful and they don't hear any complaints, I guess, essentially from the buyer. They're going to leave feedback on the buyer's behalf, and you know, try to get a more accurate feedback number on us sellers who most buyers don't leave feedback. When I buy a card from somebody on eBay, I don't leave feedback. You know, okay. The only time I would is if there was a problem, obviously, or they went above and beyond for something, and I, you know, felt compelled. But
I have just a normal automated feedback.
I do for my buyers.
Yeah, I do it when I buy as well. As soon as I don't. Yeah, I don't, and I know a lot of buyers don't, because they don't really. You don't have to. Like, it's a voluntary thing, right? So anyway, it's gonna be interesting, I think, going the next few months to see how the market can keep this going. If things switch again, if the repackers go away and then that just drops the market, I don't know. Or if it increases, you know, everybody's doing more and getting more, and I'm seeing packs on shelves, so it doesn't seem like the retail is really, you know, boomed. I would agree.
Not a ton. Like, the stuff that's good still sells, of course, but there is always some stock, it seems, other than Pokemon. Pokemon's always good.
I was just gonna say that. Yeah, you can never find Pokemon on the shelves.
Never find Pokemon. Yeah. So I don't know. What's your take on like current market and things that are happening?
You know, I still think it's pretty robust. If you're talking the retail market, I do sense that there's not that rush every restock day anymore.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't know that there's a ton of new releases to be excited about either. You get, you know, the occasional flagship product that everybody wants, but then there's a bunch of these lesser popular products that keep coming out, and those are typically what I see on the shelves, right? So, so there's plenty of that. As far as, you know, sales for us, I feel it's going pretty well yet. I haven't seen a lull in, you know, quite some time now. So I think the market is still strong. I don't see anything with the economy that has really affected the reselling market or the retail market either.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I feel like at some point it's got to slow down a little bit, right? I mean, things don't go up forever, obviously.
Yeah. Well, I don't know that it's necessarily going up a lot anymore. It may have plateaued a little bit.
True.
With the exception again of Pokemon.
Right.
But it all still seems strong. You look at any of the media releases for overall sales of sports cards, and they continue to be setting records, right? Like it's a crazy amount of money being spent on cards.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I just don't. I'm not exactly sure which cards are the ones that are selling, I guess.
Yes.
I think that's what's hard to really pinpoint. Like, you know, okay, the downtowns, yeah, the repackers come in and you got those in your showcases. They go right away because they're not buying them from themselves. They're just using it to fill out a product, you know, inventory for one of their products. But I don't know. I don't know outside of that, like what's really floating it up there. What's putting out the big money.
Yeah.
I think our stuff is kind of just always consistent, right? I mean, your $1.50 cards sell for $1.50, and you know, you just keep moving. And you know, I have times where it's not quite as busy. I have times where it's, you know, like this past weekend where it's insane and the numbers just go up and up and up. So I think it's just a matter of trying to be consistent and just be ready for when those buyers come in and have stuff,
right?
For them to pick up, right? I mean, I don't think we have to complicate it more than that sometimes. But either way, I'm enjoying it. Keep adding to the inventory. You know, uploading to different platforms has been amazing.
Yeah.
I really like that boost. It's added a little bit more fun to it. And yeah, I think that's something that we can continue to see. I do want to eventually, and I've talked about this for a while, it's just a huge undertaking, but I do still want to start a Shopify store.
Okay.
And just try to sell my cards myself. If they can cross list through Card Dealer Pro, it makes a lot of sense. There's no real reason to not do it if it's easy to upload to. And you know, depending on how many products you want to list and stuff, you can get a monthly Shopify account, you know, which provides you the shopping cart and all that type of stuff, the transactional services and whatnot. You can get that pretty affordably. I'm going to flip this around for a second here.
Yeah.
There we go. There's no reason to, there we go. That looks much better. There's no reason to not, I got a new phone, by the way, just so you guys know. That's why I keep screwing with everything, because trying to see what's going to work best. But I got a new phone literally today, so you guys are my guinea pigs on doing video with it. But yeah, I think I think as more platforms get added and there's more ways for you to put your products out there without having to recreate all those listings, I think that's a big win. To me, that makes Card Dealer Pro really worth it. You know, not that scanning and listing and AI and all that isn't great as well, but just not having to duplicate everything you're doing. And if you think about it, if you scan a new batch, let's say you scan 50 cards, right? They charge you for the 50 scans, but you really are making 150 listings out of that, right? Because you're putting 50 on eBay, you're putting 50 on Collects, and you're putting 50 on whatnot. Yes, they're all the same card, but you are looking at different, you know, buyers in those spaces as well. So it just feels like it's the right time to really get that kind of a growth, and you know, take advantage of these other growing markets. I mean, Whatnot is legit. It's a big website. A lot of shoppers on there. I had a guy yesterday who is a neighbor of Art Shell. You remember who Art Shell is?
Yeah, former Raider, Hall of Famer.
Yeah, Hall of Fame Raider. So he messaged me, and this is one thing I've really noticed about Whatnot that happens a lot more than it does on eBay. And I haven't been doing this that long on Whatnot, but it's significant enough difference in numbers that I want to bring it up. But a lot more messaging. Like, hey, I see you. You know, what do you want for all your Padme cards? What do you want to do for this? Or hey, can I buy some of that? It's more social, right? People are more communicative. Even as far as like messaging times, like I had a card that got bought and it wasn't in my inventory, probably got sold on eBay and didn't, jump, fall off the cross list, whatever it is. We're still working in beta on some of this. But anyway, so I messaged them and I'm like, yeah, I don't have that Judge card anymore. It's sold, on another platform or whatever. And got a message back in like 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Right. How often does that happen when you message a customer on eBay? It might be a whole day. I had another one, this guy who bought the Art Shell cards. He's like, yeah, Art Shell's my neighbor and, we're good buddies. And, I wanted to pick up some cards. And so I'll buy all your Art Shells. I'll make you an offer of this much for the whole thing. So instead of like going out and picking certain cards and things like that, I feel like it's more conversational to make a transaction on there. Kind of like you would with live selling, right? I mean,
I would agree. Yeah.
Live selling is more that way. So he's like, yeah, I don't really want to go make an offer on all of them. Can you just make a little listing for me? I did it. He bought it, paid for it right away. Same kind of instance. Two of the cards he thought were Art Shell, and I should have looked at these myself before I did it, but were actually Donnie Shell. Do you know who Donnie Shell is? He played for the Raiders as well.
I don't remember.
Kind of around the same time, and I'm like, are you sure they were all Art Shell? And he's like, oh crap, two of them are Donnie Shell. And I'm like, well, I can refund you for two of the cards or whatever. He's like, nah, I'm a Packers fan, just throwing like a Paul Kaufman card or something. And I'm like, so it was like a real conversation, right? And I don't get a ton of that on eBay, and I don't necessarily want that with every customer either. That would get obnoxious, but it is nice to be able to like put together a deal for somebody. Especially on Whatnot because they charge that package shipping rate. So it was nice to get, he gave me $25 for 13 cards. Plus he paid the shipping. So I was like, that's pretty solid.
Yeah.
And I had plenty of Art Shell cards to send him. So it was nice. I cleared out my entire Art Shell supply in one order.
There you go.
But so I'm really enjoying that part of Whatnot. And I think that's encouraging me more to do live selling because it's like, okay, I have these conversations with people on here and it seems more community based and, getting new followers and following other stores and things like that is all going to help that part of it grow.
Yeah. Speaking about the multiple platforms, I still see a lot of discussion about cards not pulling down across the other platforms, and I'm still not running into that. In fact, I just checked one. I just sold this card right before the show, this Mariano Rivera high-tech card. So I sold it off eBay, and I just checked collects, and when I do a search in my collection for Mariano Rivera, there's just this one VIP national card. So it pulled it down. I don't know why I'm not having the same problems, but I will say I am very particular on my process of how I cross list. Like I don't mix up CSV file with the direct listing and stuff like that. Like if I'm going to cross list it, I just use the direct.
Yes, and I'm going to clarify where these issues are coming from, and you're exactly right. It's a difference in how you list, and if you downloaded the file from eBay and you didn't have a SKU in it and things like that, the ones that I've had the issue with were ones that didn't have a SKU and then they downloaded twice because I hit the button more than once.
Okay.
So I had to go out and delete a bunch of that stuff, and you just kind of have to find your ground with it. But anything you sell on eBay or Whatnot will come out of collects. I've never had something not come out of collects. I've had a couple things where I sold it on eBay and it didn't come out of Whatnot, and that was because I listed it through the CSV. And when it went to Whatnot, it had a different SKU number or something to that effect, so it didn't pull it down.
Yeah, I was going to say,
but that's easy for me to. I'm sorry. Well, that's easy for me to find because when I fill the orders, I go to my unsold listings on eBay, which is like your ended listings. And if I'm pulling a card for Whatnot and I don't see it in my ended listings, well, then I know I wasn't taken out of eBay.
Yeah.
And that's my trigger to just search that card and just end it. I had a Travis Kelce canvas Gridiron Kings card that I sold on Whatnot and never came down on eBay. So I pulled it up and I ended the listing and good to go. Shipped it out on Whatnot. So
yeah.
So yeah, if you don't have one of the things I talked about, I don't remember if I talked to you about this or if I talked about it on the live last week, but when I went to pick up the scanner. One of the things I'm thinking of doing is every 6 months just bringing all that inventory down on Whatnot and Collects. Yep, kill out all my inventory listings in Car Dealer Pro, download a brand new eBay file because that's going to always be my most accurate file. So anything that I would have taken a photo of and listed and then do through Car Dealer Pro that didn't get shared to Whatnot, Collects, whatever, that's all going to get taken care of because I'll download a whole new file from eBay, send it out to Collects and Whatnot, which is awesome because those will show up as brand new listings on those two platforms. And you should stay clean. And then, of course, the next time I do this, I won't hit the button more than once, and I won't end up with some doubles. And hopefully, I'll have everything out of the non-skewed. I just have that one drawer left of some non-skewed stuff. I probably should have prioritized that and cleaned that out before I listed to the other sites, but it was way too fun, so I just did it. And there isn't that much in there, and I went in and I just deleted the double downloads right in the Car Dealer Pro inventory. And so the way I did it for those of you, if you've run into this, what I did was I went into my Car Dealer Pro inventory and I had it sort by SKU. So then all my SKUs that were defaulted and didn't have my custom SKU in it, I know were ones that I don't have in bags. If that makes sense. So it just has the SKU assigned by Car Dealer Pro.
Right.
So then I was able to just go through and see, oh yeah, I have 2 of these, I have 2 of these, I have 2 of these, and just delete the extra listings.
So, but how did you, all right, I'm looking at my inventory. So how did you sort by SKU? I don't see that there's a sort by that.
Let me log in here. Hold on one second. I can share my screen too.
Oh, cool, maybe in the attributes.
Just one second.
Yeah.
Waiting for it to load.
You mean you're not logged into it at all times?
No. Especially now. I mean, I already did my imports and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, did I do it by attribute? I must have.
But I don't.
I know I got to sort. Oh, maybe I sorted it on eBay by SKU.
Okay.
And then I went to the ones that didn't have, the non-skewed ones, the generic SKUs, and that's where I went to inventory then and pulled them down. That's probably what I did.
Because I'm kind of wondering, like, I haven't found a way to filter out to just duplicates in my inventory.
I haven't either. You don't have any items in inventory. Well, that's a thing.
You already cleared it all out?
No. It's Car Dealer Pro's just running. It's not doing anything.
There's another new version upload or
that might be it. Maybe I just have an old one. I can try it again. Car Dealer Pro. It's an awesome and a terrible software all at the same time.
Yeah.
Okay, there's my batches. Where the heck are my listings? There's my listings, which I just did.
So this is interesting. I actually found one recently that I listed that doesn't have the unique part of the SKU.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's not a perfect science. You got to find a way to to sort it. My advice for now, and I'm sure I have more listings than most do on these 3 platforms. My best advice would be to, when you sell, if you're not getting that many sales on Whatnot and Collects each day right now, just go check eBay, just go check Collect, just go check Whatnot, make sure the listing came down, and you're fine. You don't even necessarily have to go to each one of those sites to do it. You could simply just go into your inventory on Car Dealer Pro, pull that item up, and then just make sure it's clicked off of Whatnot and Collects as well. Or kind of the way I do it on eBay, where I look up the unsold listings, which is like ended listings. You could go to your inventory tab on Car Dealer Pro and just go to out of stock. And if you sold that card on Whatnot, or you sold that card on Collects, or you sold that card on eBay, if you go to your out of stock, it should show that listing should be in the out of stock. If not, then you got a problem and you got to go to the other sites to remove it. That's weird. It's saying I have no items in inventory, so that's interesting.
You've been robbed.
Which is funny because when I go to listings, then I see them all there. So I don't know. But the inventory tab itself won't load anything.
So
too many listings, I guess.
Maybe the listings is where you found a way to search by SKU or
I don't think so. I'm pretty sure now that I sorted it on eBay. I guess I was just thinking it was through Car Dealer Pro, but I'm pretty sure I did it on eBay, and then I came back here and I went into inventory and then changed the card that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, here's the ended ones. So if you look here,
it's still a work in progress a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. So I'll show you this here. I'll share my screen. Let's do this one. So if you look at my Car Dealer Pro screen right here, this is my listings, and I'm just looking at Collects right now because that's where it first goes. But if you look here, these cards on top, this was stuff that I just scanned in, so those were like recent listings. But if you go down here, see where it says ended.
Mm-hmm.
This is all the cards that were just removed out of your inventory. So this was stuff that I sold. So this Ken Griffey Jr., Chipper Jones, Ryan Sandberg, Randy Moss. A lot of these were eBay sales. But that's what I was referring to earlier. If you go here, if you made a sale on any of those 3 platforms, you want to make sure it came out of Whatnot, it came out of Collects, and it came out of eBay. If you go to your ended listings, and you should see it here. If you don't see it here, that means it's still listed somewhere. So there's no way to do all 3 of them at once. You have to go into inventory to do that. So it's kind of annoying because I can't get inventory to load right now. You see, it just spins.
Yeah.
And then it eventually says you don't have any inventory. But if you go to each one individually, again, if you go down to the for sale, so those are my recent listings, and you go to ended, you should see these cards. There's that Travis Kelce I was just talking about. You should see all these cards ended here. And you shouldn't see them when you click through all 3 of these platforms. Otherwise, you got to remove something. That's, in my opinion, it's still easiest to just go look at it on eBay, because if it's been removed on eBay, it's 9 times out of 10 it's been removed, because most of my inventory that I've listed on Whatnot and Collects is from my download.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So if it's been removed on eBay, it's got to be removed on Whatnot and Collects, because you literally sent the same file to those 2 other sites.
So, some interesting stuff I'm seeing as I look at it that way. So I'm seeing some cards that I just listed recently in my ended on eBay that are cards that I didn't sell, and they're still listed on eBay. So that's
that's why I said you just got to double check stuff. I don't know a better way to put it at this point. Well, it's in beta, but how many cards have you sold on Whatnot so far per day?
Per day, I don't sell cards there every day.
Okay, so let's say you were averaging one per day. How hard is
Yeah.
it to go to eBay and collect and just make sure the damn thing's removed? Like, it's not. We're trying to find these permanent solutions for something that isn't even a problem yet.
Yeah.
You know, you start getting to the point where you're selling, like, I'm doing like 40 to 50 bucks a day on Whatnot now. So it's it's like a regular sales source for me now. And even for me, that hasn't been a big deal. I just go in, make sure they're out, no big deal. Done. So, and you're going to have maintenance to do like that no matter what, because like for this example, right, I sold all these art shell cards here. I had to create a listing to sell these art shell cards. So guess what? It's not going to remove any of these from any of the 3 platforms at all. So I had to go Whatnot and delete all my art shell cards. I had to go. Now, what I could have done, which would have saved me some time, is I could have gone to Card Dealer Pro inventory and just pulled these up and then just, made it unavailable to all 3 sites at one time.
Yeah.
But I didn't do that. I went to each one and removed it because I'm an idiot. This is the first time I've had that kind of a listing sale on Whatnot where it was like a random listing that I created. But as long as you can get your inventory to load on Card Dealer Pro, you should be able to just remove it from all 3 platforms at one time.
Interesting. So, like, I'm looking at one of those cards that shows ended in my listings, but if I look on my inventory, it shows available on eBay. So there's some weird tweaks going on with it yet.
So it has happened to you then?
Well, it hasn't happened where I sold something and it didn't pull it down.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
this is a completely new issue I just saw.
Yeah, and there is no way for this inventory to be completely gel. If you've done this long enough and you have enough stuff listed on eBay, you've definitely had a sale at some point where you don't have the card.
Yeah.
It's not in the right spot. You don't know what you did with it. You already sold it once. Why didn't it come down? Whatever.
That's just another card.
Yeah, that's just part of this business. You message the customer and you say, dude, I don't know what happened, but I don't have this thing. Do you want a refund or a different card? You move on. So I just saw we sold 2 more tables to the card show. So thanks, everybody. Excellent. 2 more Goat Show tables booked and ready to be filled with awesome cards for everybody to buy. So looking forward to that. All right, should we start? We're 42 minutes in. Should we start looking at some chats?
Let's do that. And I've been dying to try out this new beta function to see what it does. Show comments on stage. Have you tried that?
Do it. No.
Let's see what it does.
Well, we show comments on stage.
We gotta upgrade the plan to use that feature.
Those buggers, they stink.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna show some more stuff on Card Dealer Pro, but I can't get the inventory to load, so we'll save that for another time, I guess. But my next, just quick before we get to the chat, I just want to point this out because it's on topic. My next sales day video, which I'm hoping to have finished and uploaded tomorrow, should be able to, but I actually show you how I do my picking for my Whatnot sales and my collect sales. And I do it all right from my phone, just like I do when I pull both eBay store sales and put in my little picker bin. So for those of you like, how do I do this? Where do I go to get this order and see this order? And no. I have one spot where I can go pull all of them. And so I show you how to do that at the beginning of this video. So hopefully that will help some of you and you'll enjoy that. But anyway, just wanted to mention that quick. All right, go ahead.
All right, Ryan Peterson is with us. He says, "Go Brewers."
What's up, cuz? And the Brewers can just go. You're right. I don't have a problem with that. They can go wherever they want, as long as it's not to the World Series.
But he does say the Cubs' schedule is gravy compared to the Brewers' final stretch, so the Cubs could catch them.
That's a good point. The Cubs had an extremely difficult schedule at the beginning of the season.
They did. Yeah.
And I kind of thought that all along. I was like, man, if they stay in this, they should have a pretty good shot at, finishing out pretty well. And it's kind of leaning that way. So we'll see how it goes.
For sure. Snappy is here and says, "Happy Wednesday, fellas. Glad everyone is feeling good." That actually reminds me, I got to do a shout out to Mrs. JC3 here tonight. It is our 20th wedding anniversary today.
I saw that. Congratulations. Yeah. Congratulations.
Seems like
I saw
just yesterday we were kids running around.
I saw the post of those two young kids, and I think I knew you shortly after that, didn't I?
Yeah.
So it was a flashback for me too. I'm like, holy crap, yeah, that's right. That's what everybody looked like then. I didn't look like this either, right? I mean, that's just how the game is played, but
right.
But yeah, that was fun. That was fun. So yeah, congratulations. 20 years is a big accomplishment.
Yeah. Wolfie Joe's here. He says, seen any tariff effects, good or bad?
I mean, not like for cards per se. Cards, I feel like, is almost at this point now where it doesn't even matter what they charge. Somebody will figure out a way to get the packs into repack boxes, or they'll constantly be able to sell breaker spots. Like there's just you can break down the products so far to such micro transactions that even if the price keeps going up, it can still be bought.
Yeah,
people will still be buying. Hold on one second, I gotta plug this in.
We did see some increases in prices for imported card sets like Kakawao that Adam and I like. That did show a sizable jump with the tariffs, but for the most part, I thought we really only saw the impact on some supplies.
Yeah, supplies are definitely going to get hit because the plastics aren't really made here. None of them, as far as I understand. And honestly, I feel like that kind of got headed off at the pass because so many of them just flat out went out of business or just stopped doing it and they're doing other stuff.
Yeah.
So a lot of those card saver type holders we were buying from those kind of outlying companies, they're just not around anymore. Kind of forces you to buy like the Ultra Pros and the BCWs and stuff like that. And those are just more expensive, and they've gotten more expensive as some of the tariff stuff's coming up. But I think a lot of cards are printed in the U.S. I know Topps prints a good chunk of theirs here. You might see more of that. I don't know. Just set up a big card press, building that's not going to happen in like 10 days. So if they got sets that are coming out and they got to print in China, they got to print in China, and then we'll just have to deal with them. The cost of it from there. But I think the bigger thing is the shipping has been affected more than anything. So there's a list of like 30 countries or something that won't ship to the US anymore.
Yeah.
So, if you're buying if you're buying stuff for your own PC and it's like some guy in, I don't know, Italy has the card, they won't sell it to you because they can't ship it to you because their postal services have just flat out said, well, we're just not going to deal with it. We're not going to allow shipments. So, to me, I think that's got the bigger effect at this point in time. I'm not saying like the overall tariffs won't have a giant impact because I'm sure in lots of ways they will, but plastics and postal services that won't ship overseas. Those are the two big effects I've seen.
I would agree. Snappy says, hey, Charlie, really enjoying my so-called card life. Love the intro with the background noise from a card show. I hear that and I start looking around my room for a box to start digging in. That's right. It's supposed to trigger that, what is it? Pavlov's dog response where, you just hear that and you start salivating. Where are the cards? Where are the cards? Right. It's been going well. I struggled a bit this week due to the illness I had. I was still kind of hurting on Sunday. I usually record those on a Sunday night. So you can probably hear that in my voice this week, but it's been enjoyable. I like doing it. I got my first hater this week too, so that was fun.
Yeah, that was an interesting comment. Like, why would you even come out and do that? But yeah, you're gonna always have haters. It's par for the course of putting yourself out there. Somebody's gonna not agree with that, but I guess as a fellow content creator, if you even want to call us that, fringy content creators at best, but I truly believe that you kind of have to do something that you enjoy. It's not the it's not like making a TV show where you're a paid actor type of thing. It's got to be something you enjoy because you're doing the filming, the editing, the processing, the uploading, uh, the talking, all of it.
Yeah.
So without much reward, if any. So it has to be a love of it to want to keep doing it. And a blog's a great way to do it because you don't have to worry about the video. So
right,
that makes a lot of sense.
Right. Yeah, I look forward to seeing how far I can take it. It's just fun to spend 20, 30 minutes talking about the week that was and the kinds of things we deal with. And I see it as kind of a natural extension of our show here. I talk about a few things on there that we didn't get time to talk about on here, and sometimes they overlap a bit too.
Yeah, and it's a way for you to have your own stage. You don't have to share with somebody else. You're just kind of going into your own thoughts, and
yeah,
you're kind of forced to listen to me for a chunk of this. So it's nice for you to have a spot where you can really just go out and be yourself and do your thing. I think that's cool.
Max is here this week. Always got to be buying. Can't survive as a dealer if you aren't.
Yeah, that's for sure. Try to keep up with the listing, and I was telling Charlie this weekend when I stopped over there, like my listing numbers have dipped so much because you get those big boosts in sales. A couple of hot weekends, and boom, 2,000-3,000 cards you're down on your listing. So it's good to have some room. I'm still building the non-sports store. I'm at like 11.9, so not a lot. Excuse me, listing growth there. I've had some late nights, by the way, staying up packing orders, but I have the scanner now, so I should be able to pump that up a bit as well. But yeah, you have to constantly add new inventory to get old inventory to sell and so forth. So I'll always be buying, I would say, as long as you can get your margin you need out of it, and you think it's something you're not going to get buried in and have sit around forever and not list, because that's a problem. I say go for it. Vintage is kind of like sort of my hot play on that one because I can always just scan it, and it's really easy to get the AI to recognize the correct card, and you can list it, and they're all the same size and color, and bag them and all that stuff, put them away. So if I can get a nice big pile of vintage, even if it's commons and they're in good shape, that's a no-brainer because it doesn't take you hardly any time or energy to get them listed.
Right.
And there's always buyers for
it. Snappy says, don't mean to leave out Adam for kudos as well. Nothing makes me smile like a new sales day video. I know you feel like it's monotonous, but it's fun to hear your thoughts on cards, subsets, and inserts. Thanks.
Yeah, and I think that's one thing that I either underestimated or overlooked, because when I'm making the videos, I don't really think that much about what I'm talking. I just kind of do it, and then I say, oh, and I sold this card $3. So anyway, this happened at Topps, and just you're putting the sound in there. And I kind of thought about that a little bit the other day when I was deciding to start putting some focus on sales day videos again. That's actually pretty solid content. It's kind of like your blog, right? It's just a chance for me to talk and say, hey, this is what I feel like about non-sports right now, or this is what I'm trying to do with these listings. And the way for me to do that, but that's not the primary focus of the video. It's like, and I think that's why people like the videos. I think, they want to see what I sold and, watch me pull the cards and look like an idiot when it's not in a bag or whatever. I get the entertainment value out of that. But I think there's a good chunk of the value in just me talking about what's going on.
Yeah.
While I'm pulling the sales. And it's great. I think it's good background type content. Because you can, for the most of the video, you're just listening to me. You're not really seeing me do much. And then I can say, oh, look at this sweet, Dion card I sold, $4.99. You get a quick look, see that card on screen and go, oh yeah, that is a cool card. And boom, go back to sorting your cards or, filling your orders or whatever. So I think there's so many of our viewers that are like that kind of content because you need that. You don't want to just sit there and sort cards in silence. So if you've got somebody that you like or you want to listen to, or you feel like has information that has value, that's a great way to consume and see some cool sales, hopefully, as well. Now, what I didn't show is 2 days ago. Here, maybe I can bring this up. I can bring this up. I can do this now, Charlie.
Yeah.
I had a 5-card quantity sale. You're gonna love this one. And let's see, it's a non-sport card. Okay. Let me see. I gotta log into my other eBay account, so hold on a second because I was in the sports start. Yeah,
So
I know.
all non-sports, huh?
Challenges and challenges, my man.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to sold. Guess what? It's from a TV show. Guess what TV show it's from? We got a bunch of orders to.
Well, that doesn't narrow it down very much.
No, it doesn't, because I'm trying to buy myself time here, and I want to make sure.
Is it modern or more vintage?
It is fairly modern. It's a cult show. It's a cartoon.
Oh, Beavis and Butthead.
No.
Okay.
A little more modern than that.
King of the Hill.
Nope.
The Simpsons.
No, sir. Ready for me to share? I'm going to share.
Yeah.
I'm going to share.
Yeah.
Ready? You're going to like this. Share. So I talk about all these like really super weird things you can sell, right? Well, this is from
The Flea.
It's from a board game. No, that would be awesome. It's from a board game, but it's a trading card themed board game. Okay. There's a few of them out there. Actually, I have one right here. I'll show you. I didn't get any of these listed yet, but I picked this up at a rummage sale the other day for like $5. So it's called Card Scramble. Have you seen these before?
I haven't.
So it's playing card. You're using playing cards to play the game. There's these like action cards and then character cards and stuff like that. So this is it's literally the same company, same. The game is called the same Card Scramble and all that, but this is a different property that it's themed around. But anyway, here we go. So I'm going to share this. I sold 5 copies of this card.
Rick and Morty.
Rick and Morty, you got it. And it's Mr. Poopy Butthole. Yep. Somebody bought 5 copies of that card for $10.
Nice.
Right? But that's my point. That's why I like to do the sales day videos, because most people wouldn't even. I bought this game. It was a complete game. It wasn't sealed, but I opened the box and I could see like most of the cards were there. There's multiple copies of pretty much every card. But I got this game at Goodwill. I think I paid $3, maybe $3 for it, $4, something like that. And it has, I think, 80 some cards in it.
Okay.
Rick and Morty doesn't have a ton of trading cards, right? They had that one Cryptozoic set, I believe it was, with the scratch and sniff cards and that stuff in it.
Yeah.
That's it. So let me see here. I've got this one. Let's see how many cards are in this. So you get 32 action cards, 96 space cards, which are like the cards that fill like the board in between the spots you land on. And then 80 scoring pieces, which are actually cards too. So, I mean, it's a fair amount of stuff for $5. You know, sometimes you just have to think outside the box of, think outside the box of, what you can buy and list. Now, what I like about that is a lot of the cards are the same. So it's pretty quick listing. I can list. There were 12 copies of this Mr. Poopy Butthole card in the set. So it was one listing for 12 cards, and I sold 5 of them at one time. So I have 7 left. But yeah. And so when I talked earlier about the space cards, this is a space card in the Rick and Morty set. So This is the one where it tells you how many spaces to move. That's what these are. So there's character cards, there's the space cards, and then there's the action cards where it would be like Mr. Poopy Butthole jumps over the ravine or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
What I find the most entertaining on that sale is the thought that someone said, how many copies of this do I need? I guess I don't need all 12, but I definitely want more than one. I'm going to get 5, not 7, not 3. I'm going to get 5.
But that's because my coupon is if you buy 5, you get 20%.
Oh, okay.
So you need those coupons. Those coupons are enticements. That's that candy bar at the checkout type of thing. So anyway, I just thought that was kind of a fun sale to share. Let me ditch this thing. Where's the stop sharing? Oh, there it is. All right. So anyway, enough about that. But yeah, I'm gonna continue to do the sales day videos. I like to hear myself talk from time to time. So hopefully I'll have more time and more exciting sales like that, like Mr. Poopy Butthole, to share with all of you.
Mr. Poopy Butthole.
Mr. Poopy Butthole. I knew those would sell. Like I opened the box, I'm like, there's Mr. Poopy Butthole cards. These will totally sell.
Yeah.
Right? It's like when I found the zombie Trump card, I'm like, well, that's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Exactly. You know, there's just certain things where you just know there's going to be a market for it.
Well, Bargain Boxer's with us, talking about the retail market. Says the problem is retail is overpriced and fewer hits, no value in retail anymore. What do you think of that?
Yes.
Yeah, I would agree.
I mean,
over the past few years, we've seen it tilting more and more.
Yeah, and I don't really buy wax anyway. So it doesn't really make a big difference to me on that and from that side of things. When I do buy wax, it's going to be retail because I'm not paying $700 for a hobby box. That's stupid in my mind. So I go into it going, okay, I pay $40 for this blaster. Yes, most blasters are $40 now, which is also insane. I don't expect to get my $40. It's a set I like. If I get a few cool cards out of it, it can be a bit of a loss leader, right? Because you got a new product, you can list some new cards. You're going to get buyers because it's a new thing out there, and hopefully they buy other cards. That's my whole purpose behind it. I do not expect to buy a blaster box for $40 and pull $60 worth of cards out of it. Like that just doesn't. There's a reason. I've said this a lot. There's a reason they sell cards blind packaged.
Yeah.
Because there's more money in doing that than just selling you. Because people are like, well, why don't they just sell the Tom Brady autos at $5,000 or whatever? Because you're not thinking of it in scale. So great, they get $5,000 for that Tom Brady auto. But what about the base lineman of the Dolphins player? They're not going to sell that card at all. So they throw all that crap in the packs too. And it does still represent a true product, right? Because it is still cards of all different players in the league. And but there really isn't much secondary market, if any of that. And they would have to try to sell all these single cards. So yeah, they sell the Tom Brady auto. That's an easy sale. How do they, they run the same problem we do with base. How do you sell that Dolphins linebacker card?
Right. Well, if it's Zach Thomas, no problem.
Right, but it's not Zach Thomas. It's whoever's there now. I don't even know because I don't care. Now, things like that can change in the market too, right? So I was big on Micah Parsons. I thought he was a very dominant defensive player. I'd been buying a bunch of his rookie cards. Now, he was in a rookie in 21, I think it was.
Something like that.
Very overprinted year, and he's got a ton of like Chronicles rookies and stuff like that. So getting very cheap rookies for, dime box, quarter box type stuff. I sold almost all of it because as soon as he got traded and he's going to Green Bay, everybody wants, Micah Parsons rookie cards again. So, a market can be created out of nothing too if something happens.
Right. Yep, for sure. Susie's with Sparkle Sports Card says, "G'day, y'all from Australia."
Hey, how down? Wait, how do you say that? How is it? How you down under or something like that?
Something
There's a
like that.
There's a greeting in there somewhere. Totally butchered that, but yeah. Anyway, how's tomorrow? How about that? That's better.
Yeah, there you go. The live
Future
just got
girl,
more sparkly.
future girl there. Yeah.
Yeah. Bargain Boxer's asking, is Ziggy still here? I don't think I've
I
seen
don't think Ziggy. Yeah, I don't think he said anything, so I'm not sure if he's still here
Yeah.
or if he was here at all. To be honest, with you.
Yeah, I don't think he's here tonight. Boomslang says, yo.
Correct. You can say one yo. I accept. Yo is a greeting. Yo is a toy. Yo is mine.
There you go.
We've established that, but yes, thank you for joining us. We appreciate you.
Pick Six says nephew Brandon Shell, I believe, played at South Carolina.
Okay. Yeah, lots of Shell, the Shell line of players, it's there. So
Plus, they got all those gas stations everywhere.
Right, yeah, right. It's the same name. You're right. So I'll tell you what surprised me though. So I got these right, and I'm like, oh, did you want the Donnie Shells and that? And I did not expect him to come back and say, can you throw a Paul Kaufman card in? I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Super random. Sure. Yeah, very, very. Never know what's going to sell. Never know.
Yeah. He goes on to say a lot of these are eBay sales, not sold on cross listings.
Yeah, absolutely. Well,
yeah, I think
eBay is still my dominant market. Player. Yeah, but look at it this way, right? So in theory, it's not going to hurt your eBay sales if you sell on these other platforms because you're probably getting different buyers. That's what I like about it is exposure to buyers on a whole different platform that probably don't shop eBay. Yeah, they prefer Whatnot or they want to go to Collects, whatever their reasoning be. So let's say, for example, I do $1,000 a day on eBay, right? And I continue to do my $1,000 a day. But now I've got this Whatnot thing, right? And I'm building that up, and that's another $50 a day, another $60 a day, another $80 a day. See, you still have your 1,000 here, right? Which is your eBay consistent. And I'm not going to say like that's what it is every day. Not any, there's up and downs with that too. But we can feed in, $50 in Whatnot sales and $10 in Collect sales, and helps you turn over some of that inventory a little faster. It gets you to some buyers that how long would these art shell cards have sat in my eBay store if I didn't put them on Whatnot? Maybe a couple more years. Some of these are multiple copies. There's, most of these cards have 3-4 copies a piece. So that's not an easy find for a buyer, for something like that. Now, art shell is great and it is vintage and, there's things going for it. But you still got to find a buyer. So the other reason I really like it is I don't have to pay shipping on either of those other platforms. Mm-hmm. The fees on Whatnot are basically the same as eBay, but no promotional fees, which a lot of times, the sales on eBay, you have to promote to sell. So you're losing another 8-10%, right?
Yeah.
On some of those deals. Collect, same thing. Actually, even better. Their fees are less. Buyer pays the shipping. And just gives you an opportunity to sell another card that maybe would have sat around on eBay. Yeah, great value. Why wouldn't you want every card you have to sell to be listed in as many places as possible? That's it makes, if you're a business person, that would make absolutely no sense to turn any of that down, provided like the monetary return is worth it, right? Like the fees aren't too high, things like that. But in this case, the fees are better in those environments. And you're not recreating your work. Yes, you have to download the big eBay file. It did take me a couple days to upload them all to Collects, upload them all to Whatnot, because they each have their own little quirky things that you got to have in there. All the non-sport cards need non-sport in the category for Whatnot to accept it. On Collects, any of my PSA listed cards on eBay, I could not list on Collects. So Collects must have some kind of other requirements. I didn't even bother with those right now. I'll just leave them on eBay for now. Might go back and look at that. We'll see. But
you know what I've had trouble with getting on Collects is these babies right here, the Bojacks.
Sure,
because I do them in the trading card game category, and I don't think you can send collects trading card games.
No, you have to list them as sports cards.
Yeah.
So, which is how I list them, but I can see why you list them as gaming cards. Like, it's not wrong either way. It's just collects is like, no, we don't do that here. So, yeah, just some quirk stuff. And you know what? If collects is like, nope, can't list that here, boom, I just move on and I don't list it there. Right. I don't really care. I'm not getting that kind of demand on collects where I care. I'd care more about not being able to list on Whatnot because I'm seeing a lot more activity and growth from there.
Okay.
But eBay is absolutely the be all end all at this point. Everything has to be on eBay for me before it's required to really be touched anywhere else. Because that is the platform that gets me enough money to pay the bills. So that's important.
What I do like about collects is the monthly credits. So I can get like cards like this for free. Yeah, I had
$15 left in credits. I just bought a bunch of stuff this past weekend. I bought a new Atom Bomb card for my here. I can show you what it looks like. I just bought a new Atom. Oh no, I can't because you can't pull up collects on the internet.
Yeah, it's Apple only.
Boo. Anyway, I found another Atom Bomb card, but it's based on like TV. It's one of their sets where it was like all TV stuff. They have like themes, like there's the food fight and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, this was based on like cartoons or whatever. So it's basically Brian, the dog from Family Guy, and Peter Griffin. And Peter Griffin's like bending down to pick up the remote control or something like that. And of course, he blows it out the other end, not out the top of his head like Atom Bomb does.
Yeah.
It says Atom Bomb. Atom Bomb is the character on there. So had to have that one. So it's fun. It allows me to buy a couple cards I would like for myself. No, the credit equals basically what you're spending, right? Plus some if you buy annually. If you buy the annual Collects Pro, because annual is $100, but you get $10 a month in credits from Collects to spend on cards. So you really get $120 a year from Collects, and you spent $100 to be on their platform to list.
Right.
So it's kind of a weird thing on their part. I'm not quite sure why they even have you pay then if they're giving you credits, and who knows. To me, the whole reason behind it, and I think eventually they won't do the credits anymore, which is why they charge, because eventually they can pull the plug on that. They're doing it because they want activity on the site. So they know if they give me credits, I'm going to go buy cards. A lot of the cards I sold on there were probably bought with credits, right? From other sellers. So it's just to kind of get, they're basically incentivizing you to get this platform going and having more activity. People talking about, where'd you buy this card? I bought it on Collects. What the hell is Collects? Well, this is this, you start talking to other people at card shows, and that gets that word out. That's basically how Whatnot grew. Whatnot was mostly like Funko Pop sales and stuff. Like they don't even really do that much of that anymore. So, but yeah, I mean, your comment is correct. Yes, most of them are eBay sales. Of course they are. Yeah. And that's where I have the biggest following. I have regular customers there. Repeat buyer orders is a big number for me. And I just don't really have that on Whatnot and Collects yet. And it's going to take some time to build some of that.
Sure.
But to take a couple of hours and be able to throw 50, 60,000 listings to 2 other platforms, no brainer. I'd do that all. If they add another platform, I'm going to go back through and add them all to that platform. Why wouldn't I? So, yes.
For sure. More eyes lead to more sales.
Yep. Especially when you get a better margin.
Yeah.
Right? So, would I rather make the sale on Collects than I would on eBay? Yeah, I get more money out of it. So that's a motivator too. Now, Collects kind of has, we should clarify this a little bit. Collects doesn't simply pay you out like eBay does, and they don't charge you. eBay doesn't charge you. Collects charges you $2 when you withdraw.
Right.
So you're probably not going to want to sell a card for $3, have that put into your account. Now you transfer the $3 to your bank account and get charged $2. Now you're getting $1. Now you're doing way worse than you would on eBay. So it is something where you if you're going to do it, you want to make sure that you're committed to it and you try to build up some balance there before you make a withdrawal.
Which drives you nuts, doesn't it? Because you want your money same day usually.
Of course, because my money doesn't do anything for me when it's sitting there. But I have enough payouts and things to manage in other areas that I'm fine with sitting on that one for now. Whatnot kind of has a withholding too, because they withhold until the sale is complete, until you have 1,000 transactions or 100 transactions, something like that. Which I'm not there yet. So, when I sell something, they hold it till it's cleared. But I don't know. I mean, collects, I don't even know how much sales I'll have in a year on there. A couple $100 maybe.
Yeah.
So I'm willing to just be like, all right, I'll just leave it sit there. When I hit $100, I'll make a draw, because then it's a 2% fee, which is fine. It's not much different, than what a card fee is if you choose to use a card at a place versus cash. So,
right.
Whatever. And then I get my $100, because I don't want it to just sit there forever. I'd like to get it and do something with it.
Right. And then Pick Six wants to know if you've seen any recent uptick in tennis sales with the, what is it, U.S. Open right now? There's one of the major Grand Slams going on, right?
Yeah, I just listed some Goodwin Champions Serena Williams cards.
Okay.
I haven't had a sale on any of those yet, but I was trying to get some of my tennis up that I have, but no, I haven't, like, sales wise. No, I haven't really seen an uptick in it, but I don't list a lot of tennis.
Well, I was going to say an uptick in tennis cards would mean like you sell one
sale. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I know I've sold like
a pickleball.
Anyway, I did sell a Sports Illustrated for Kids tennis card. I don't know if that's related to that or if it's just a Sports Illustrated for Kids sale, but I haven't seen like a big jump in. I'm not like, whoa, tennis cards are nuts. Like, you better get more of those. Like, that hasn't been a thing.
Yeah. Don't worry about tennis. You got to get in on the pickleball craze.
No, that's a fad.
Yeah, Adam's right. We're joking about that. I invested last year at the National in Cleveland in a box of pickleball, and thought I'd give it a try. And it's taken me every bit of a year to try and sell those cards.
Yeah, it's still good to have something different listed in your store, even if it just sits for a while. Clearly, you could have done better than buying it as a sealed box. Like, that probably was not a very good. You'd have been better off like buying a decent sized lot for $15 or something, right?
Well, at that point, where else were you seeing pickleball though?
Well, no, you would have had to go online and look for a lot or whatnot or something. But no, I give you a hard time about this because I just do that, and you're a Brewers fan, so you kind of open your door for that one. But I applaud you for trying something different. You put a little money into it. You put some effort into it. You've tried to find buyers, tried to see if you could build a market. And that's how things get made, right? How many people made fun of Madonna for her weird looks,
right.
Lady Gaga, any trendsetters come out and people go, well, that's different. And then they go, I like it though. It's different and I like it. Mm-hmm. And then you kind of stand out a bit. So if you got pickleball cards and no one else does, maybe that's something that will help you in the long run. I just don't believe in pickleball, and I tried to talk you out of it. So it gives me permission to be like, I kind of told you so, right?
At the time, every time I turned on the TV, there was pickleball tournaments on TV. And I'm like, okay, this could be an emerging thing. I know the game's been around for a while.
It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, pickleball got super hot there for a while. I think some of the fad has faded a bit. It's basically table tennis on a tennis court. I don't know. It's a weird game.
But it got so hot there. Now, I haven't seen it for a while now. Here's the one I recently sold. And they're really nice cards too. They're all, low
Sure.
numbered. There was autos in there. They're leaf metal. So they're really sharp looking cards, but yeah, the market is not there yet.
Now, if it gets there, you're all set. Like you
That's
got
right.
You got a fair amount of pickle cards there.
Well, what, 10 or something like that, I think so.
So here's what's funny about this. You've sold a couple of pickleball cards.
Mm-hmm.
I bet I sold more Mr. Poopy Butthole cards than you've sold pickleball cards.
It's pretty close. Yeah.
Pretty close.
Yeah, pretty close.
So sometimes you just have to not think too hard, right? Go with, especially if it's on a lower investment. When you're buying boxes, that's tough. You really gotta think that out because you just don't get the return. I don't know what you could hit as a huge pickleball card. I don't know what the ceiling is on that stuff.
Yeah.
I would assume one of the autos, right?
Yeah, one of the autos for, I think one of the female players are pretty popular. I mean, I think ceiling is probably going to be $100, $125 for one of the better cards in there, right? So
what did you pay for a box, if you don't mind sharing?
It was like $100, just shy of $100.
Okay.
Yeah. So
you could have got away with it if you'd have hit a decent auto.
Right. Now, in fairness, the reason I bought it was for the redemption pack that year from
True.
I believe Leaf had one.
That's
too.
True. Yeah, you got added value, and that's probably worth what, $25?
Yeah.
I don't know how much the Leaf packs are. $20-$25. So $75 for a box. I've taken worse shots than that.
That's actually
no, I haven't. Pickleball's the worst shot you can take, but
as I think about that, I think that was the redemption pack that I got the 101 Shaquille O'Neal out of.
That sounds correct. I'm trying to think back to that. That was a Leaf card, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I'm pretty sure that was the pack. And I made, I probably made half of that back on that card. So
there you go.
Yeah. So in the end, it all evens out in the end, right?
Yeah. Well, we're not shooting for even though, Charlie.
Oh, fair point.
Even is not a great paycheck.
Yeah. But what I would say is if you can even out in the end when you're taking a chance, that's
true.
Probably a better outcome than many others.
I would say that's a fair statement.
Yeah. So, let's see here. Boomslang says congrats on the anniversary. Up next says congrats on 20. That still blows my mind. It's been 20 years. 20 years.
Big number, bro.
It also reminds me how old I'm getting now too.
Yeah, I got one of those anniversaries in a couple of weeks, and I'm on like 25 years.
Yeah,
it's great. It's insane.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Man, I look at my kids some days, and I'm like, where the hell did you come from? Like, you were this little kid, and like,
yeah,
you got this fancy haircut, and you speak Mandarin, and you're on the. She was doing a Google Meet with some of her friends the other night, like, like scheduled video type stuff. And I'm like, I don't know, dude. I don't know where any of that time went. It's all gone.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're all grown up.
They are, yes.
Yeah.
Getting there.
Pick Six says Humongous Horde is still doing well. Yeah, those promo cards from the National, those have moved all right for me.
Yeah, same. I've sold almost all of mine. I did pretty well on the what's his name? The director, Spike Lee. I think I got like $8 for the Spike Lee card. I was kind of surprised at that. Mm-hmm. So yeah, there was some. I sold Adrian James, and yeah, there's a bunch of. Kind of wish I would have bought some of those because I think he was selling like promo packs too, right?
Yeah, and I got that numbered one of Giannis.
Yep.
I got $10 for that one too.
Yeah, not bad.
Mm-hmm. Boomslang says, right, Pavlov's dog effect. Look at that. Not only do we have some fun talking cards here, but it's educational as well.
That's right. We do science, my friends.
Science.
Next week is chemistry. We're gonna show what happens when you light a card on fire.
Oh, look at that. Look at that.
Yes. Yes.
It's
with
pretty
our
much
minds.
the same thing as when you light a dollar bill on fire.
We're gonna. This is what we're gonna do, Charlie. Right? You're gonna hold up a pickleball card, and I'm gonna go like this, or a Brewers card. I'll let you choose, or a Brewers card. I'm gonna go like this, and we're burning that sucker down.
I was gonna say the pickleball cards are chrome. I don't know how those would burn.
They would look weird. Like they would kind of blacken on some spots and then curl. Yeah, that's true. You might start at like a true fire though, right? That's like putting tinfoil in the microwave or something.
Right.
You know?
Johnny M is here. Evening, guys. I am loving the Haystack software. Got my machine coming Monday. Looks like going from a basic store to a premium on eBay. Gonna be busy for the holidays.
Yeah, it's if you're looking to make bigger changes or bigger gains, now is the time because it's coming. You're gonna see. I see, and I've been doing this for a long time with bigger numbers. I always see a pretty decent slowdown by like mid to late October, and then right through like the end of November.
Okay.
And then December just explodes, and then January's big because people got their gift money and they're done paying taxes and all, property taxes for the year, stuff like that. So they're buying the cards. January, February, March, awesome 3 months. So you got to get this stuff done. If you want to try to make some big jumps up, you got to try to get that stuff done by end of October. Well, end of November for sure.
Making moves, right?
Making moves. I do not. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, Johnny, I'm interested to hear that you're getting your hardware already, because there's still a waiting list on that. So you're going to have to tell me your secret on how you got, moved up the list. In fact, as we were talking, I logged into my Haystack account because even though I have one now from 2024, when I signed up, I'm still on the waiting list. And as of tonight, I am 112 in line. And there are currently 300 people on the waiting list.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe he threw our names in there. I don't know. He's like, hey, I know Charlie. You got to get me this machine.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I'm sure that was it. Yeah, Johnny's a good talker, though. I'm sure he made a good pitch, and he was able to get his hands on one.
Yeah, I haven't looked at the software at all. I'm not really interested in it. I kind of get what I need out of the software that I'm using. But if you have the machine and the software kind of pairs nicely with that, I mean, that makes some sense.
Especially if you're on iOS, because they have the app that has some additional features. So that all goes nicely. I don't have iOS. I'm an Android guy. So for me, I tried out the software, and while there are some nice features, I didn't see enough for me to make any kind of change from Card Dealer Pro right now. It's really tough for me to walk away from that multi-platform listing, and Haystack software only lists to eBay right now.
It also doesn't do non-sports or gaming, I believe, right? It doesn't do TCG either.
Yeah, sports, yeah.
So, I don't know. And we still don't know what it costs. And that's a big problem in my head.
Yep.
It's going to be really hard for me to promote you if I don't know what the value is.
Yeah.
And Johnny, correct me if I'm wrong, but you're renting the machine, correct? You're not purchasing it?
Oh.
They charge you like a monthly rental fee, I believe.
Interesting. I don't know. I didn't know they had that feature.
Yes, I believe it. I believe the machines are all rent right now.
Yeah, Johnny says, I thought you got your machine at the National. That is correct, Johnny. So I did talk my way into getting one at this year's National, but the first time I saw it was at last year's in Cleveland, and I signed up on the waiting list then, and I'm still on the waiting list. There's no way for me to remove myself from the waiting list. So maybe someday I have two, but probably not.
Well, you can just tell them you don't need one now. Once we
Yeah,
come up, it
yeah.
comes up.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll get some type of email notification once I come up on the list. But yeah, I brought one home from Chicago this year, so I've already got one in hand. I don't know if the cord's not long enough for me to pull it up in front of the camera to show you, but well, I can unplug it. But this is it. This is the haystack. So, all right. Where were we here? Oh, looks like Mr. Poopy Butthole talk. Boomslang says, I hear Mr. Poopy Butthole cards are going to be trending as Christmas greetings cards this year. That would be amazing.
I'm pulling my other 7 out of inventory then, and I'm going to use those suckers for my own greeting cards. We'll see.
Evan is here. Says, how's it going, guys?
Hey, Evan. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate you. Quick announcement before we get on to the next one here. Just wanted to say we're here Wednesday live, 8 Central Standard Time every week. When Charlie's feeling well, we'll both be here. When he's not, we'll fill the show with something else, and I get pressured to step up my tech game, so that was good for me to have to do that. I've been relying on Charlie, so but yeah, anyway, 8 o'clock Central Standard Time. Try to join us live. We have an active chat, as you can see. It's more fun when everybody participates in it. So those of you watching this recorded, try to catch it live. We do have our Discord and the Patreon. If you want to contribute to the channel, link is going through there first. Discord channel is going through right now. Invite. Click on that. That is free. Good constructive conversation on there, I think, is the key to that server. We don't put up with the bull, and we don't really have the bull, so it's great. Many of you here in the chat are also in that Discord, and I've gotten many huge ideas, out of ways to add efficiency and run business better, as I know Charlie has as well. And we're able to provide our feedback. We get a lot of questions on there. Charlie gets tech questions. I get the how do you go full time and sell a lot of cards questions. And we kind of field them that way and cross each other once in a while, and we can help each other out with those inquiries, and it works pretty well.
That it does.
Also, like the video if you are enjoying this. Share it with somebody else you think might want to watch it. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell so you're notified when we're live, because I know stuff gets busy, especially this time of year coming up. You want to, make sure you don't miss it. We'll notify you that the show's starting, and you can participate.
Red Light 34 is with us as well. Says hello all. Good evening to you.
Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Dan's joining us a little late in the chat there. What up? All been busy packing to enjoy one of my last few glamping trips tomorrow. Yeah, Dan goes camping a lot.
I can't relate.
No?
Nope. I want my 4- and 5-star hotels. You know this, Charlie.
Yeah.
Speaking of hotels, and I kind of put it in our national chat or before the show tonight, but you had mentioned there was a non-sports show in Chicago.
Yeah.
So I kind of looked it up. It's held in a hotel, so pretty convenient for us because we could just go the one day, stay that night in the hotel, go to the next, at least part of the next day and head back. But I've never been to a straight up non-sports show, and I really think we need to do that. I think there's a lot of benefit to that. So I'll probably go to a non-sports show and buy sports cards.
Yeah, probably.
You'll
see a stack of Jeters there, and you won't be able to walk away.
Jeters for 10 cents, just like I find 1985 Garbage Pail Kids for 10 cents at sports shows. The best time to buy is when no one's looking, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that would be super fun. Just something different. Chicago's not too far away. The hotel was like $140 a night or something like that. So it wasn't too bad that way. No parking fees at the hotel. And it's at a Holiday Inn. So no matter what happens, we'll be smarter when we leave.
Yeah. Well, it's not a Holiday Inn Express.
Well, we'll just write Express on the outside. What difference does it make? It's still a Holiday Inn. What's the difference between an Express and a regular?
I don't know.
Okay.
But I know that the Holiday Inn Express ones are the ones that, make you think you're a doctor and stuff like that.
Okay. Well, maybe we could find one of those close by and we'll just stay there. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah. Johnny says he can show us what happens when you light a card on fire. He's done it many times with Brady cards.
Ooh, brutal. Brady cards have value. You should do it with stuff that, sits around in a box you got for a penny or something.
Yeah. Yeah. And Johnny says he can't give away all his secrets on how he picked one up.
Smart. Very smart, Johnny. Got to hold some stuff close to the chest. Took me a long time to realize that, but it's benefited me to make some of that change for sure.
Right. Snappy says, so if it's a no on hobby or no, you're going to burn the card? I like it. I once pulled a card for all the players on my fantasy team and burned them.
I like that idea. That's fun as hell.
We can do that on your end.
Hobby or burn?
Yeah, hobby or burn.
I'll do it. I'll light the card on fire. I don't care. I got ashtrays and junk. Yeah.
There you go.
Sure.
Johnny says, yes, it's a yearly rental, not for sale.
Yep. That's what I understood too. They're not selling them. So you might have one of the only purchased ones.
I might,
Charlie.
Yeah.
Just out of curiosity, Johnny, what do they, if you care to share, what do they charge you for the rental? That's what I'd like to know. Is it $50 a year? I don't know. I want to know how reasonable it is versus just buying one outright.
Yeah, I would think it's like a monthly rate or something too. That is an interesting question. I'm curious to hear that answer as well.
Yeah,
because I didn't see them market it at all on their website that way either. Oh, there we go. Johnny's quick to the keyboard. He says $350 a year. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I take it from your reaction. That's not for you.
I didn't even want to purchase it for $300, so no, I wouldn't rent it for $350. Nope.
Yeah.
I got a goat pen that cost me nothing because I got it from Charlie. So
it's true.
And it works great. And a lot of times I don't even bother with it. I just take the pictures of the cards and they sell instantly, so I don't really care.
Yeah.
Depending on what the card is. As long as you can get a decent photo. My brand new phone, the cameras in this thing is unbelievable. I bought a Fold 7, by the way. I went from a Fold 3, which took pretty darn good pictures, to a Fold 7. So, it's pretty sizable version jump. But yeah. I just don't think a little box that, holds my phone to take a picture is really has the value of that. Now, before you beat me up, Johnny, that's great for you. If you think that adds value. The other thing I like about this for you, Johnny, is it's motivating you to increase your store and put some more effort into the growth. And sometimes you got to spend a little money to kick yourself in the butt and get going, right? Because you don't want to spend that $350 not getting anything out of it. So this will be, consider it also an investment into your motivation to increase your listings, increase your presence, list to other places, do more listings, all those good things.
There we go. All right. Loafy Joe says free breakfast. Maybe that's the difference between Express and a regular Holiday Inn.
Well, this one has free breakfast. So are you saying Express doesn't?
That could be.
I don't know.
That's where you get the discounts, right?
I don't know. Yeah.
And Dan says on hobby or burn, make sure there are Cubs cards.
Oh.
I like Dan. He's a good guy.
How dare you?
How dare you?
How dare you? I'll burn Cleveland Indian cards. How about that?
Ooh. Wow.
Some Francisco Lindor who,
Well, he plays for the Guardians. You got to get with the times, Adam.
Moving on.
Johnny says just another write-off for him, which is true. At the end of the year, that's a business expense that I know I'll be taking advantage of as well.
Yeah, it's a deduction. It's not a write-off, but yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah. Max is out of the loop. He says, "What is the machine, anyways?" So it's a kind of a techie light box, Max. Basically 3D modeled. There you go. You got LED lighting in there. This is a vacuum stand that holds your card there. You've got Bluetooth connection, so you don't have to touch your phone. And you get perfect images just about every time. I was telling Adam before the show tonight, I finally found a type of card that caused me pause, and I actually did grab the Goat Pen 2.0 to take one image of a card because it was an acetate card, so it was clear, and I didn't want to see the stand through the card, and I didn't take time to see if I could put like something behind it, so I just grabbed the Goat Pen. But other than that, every image I've taken in it has been picture perfect, first time every time. So that's what I like about it, is the angles are perfect, the lighting is perfect, the backgrounds are really good. I do like the vacuum stand that holds the card in place. Just everything, it was well thought out, I guess is what I would say. Now, do I agree with Adam that it's probably a little pricier than it should be? I absolutely do. The first time we talked to them, I believe they were thinking the price point was going to be more like 125. And then they said tariffs hit, and some of the things that go into it up their price. But yeah, to each their own. You got to decide what's the right investment for you. I went for it. Johnny looks like he's taking advantage of it to fit in his business. Adam went the other way, and he said, "No, that's not for me." So
I think one of the things I would encourage everybody to remember is the tech stuff is great. Anything that helps you, improve your business isn't necessarily a bad thing, but you have to make sure you put a focus on selling cards. Like if this isn't going to help you sell more cards, you're really not gaining anything. So you got to get listings. You got to have quality cards to sell. You need Mr. Poopy Buttholes. The quality of the picture I took of that card, it isn't relevant. Somebody who's going to buy a Mr. Poopy Butthole card is going to buy it, right? So I don't know. Sometimes you have to, because I can get caught up in that too. Like, there's this platform and there's this and there's that, and it's like, well, what does that really? Does that increase my sales? That's the very first thing I say to myself when I get excited about any of this stuff, or don't get excited about it. Also, where I'm like, I'll just ignore that, and I go, will this give me 10% more in sales? I'm going to do it then.
Yeah.
So if you believe that the light box, a light box, this light box, whatever it is going to increase your sales, then I feel like it's worth your time to look into it.
Yeah. Well, the other side of that we don't want to forget either is your time allocations. If it can, you feel it can speed your delivery of your listings, then it might make sense as well.
I do like the Bluetooth feature. That intrigues me. The vacuum feature is nice, but it's not really like necessary. Like you can lay a card down. The LED lighting, that's kind of a dime a dozen. The phone holder, I don't know how well that would work with my phone. Although, Charlie, wait till you see this phone; it's ridiculously thin.
Yeah.
It's basically like a sheet of paper thin. I have it folded open right now. It's like a sheet of paper thin. It's crazy. But so it'll probably work a lot better now than it would with my old. I don't even have my chunky phone down here, but that's part of it too. It's gotta be able to hold your device well. So what you want before you buy one of these, you want to consider like, what does it do for positioning your phone? I think it's adjustable though, right? Like
it is, yeah.
The stand or whatever to put the phone on.
The holder that holds the phone is magnetic, so it can be adjusted in a number of different positions.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, I thought it was a quality product too. You know, we were both excited about it last year when we saw it, and I was excited about it this year. And we talked to him a little bit, and he's like, "Yeah, maybe I can figure something out." And I was like, "Yeah, that sounds great." And then I was somewhere else in the show, and you messaged me the price, and I'm like, "Nope."
Yeah.
I just don't see it increasing my business enough for the price.
Yep.
So,
all right.
now down the road, I might change my mind.
Possibly.
You know?
Probably not, though.
Probably not. No. I highly doubt it. The goat pen works great, and it didn't cost me a penny.
True.
I just had Charlie make it for me. So
yeah.
So that's what you all should do. Message Charlie and say, "Hey, I need a goat pen. I need it for the holidays, so make sure you ship it by next week."
Yeah.
And then every day message him, "Did you ship it? Did you ship it? Did you ship it? I don't see it yet."
In all my spare time, I should be able to manage that.
You can do it, Charlie. I believe in you.
Nice. Max says, Johnny sounds like the accountants I went round and round with. My clients present all the time. Expenditures just to write things off are a waste. Well, you know, true.
Right.
It has to have some value into it.
Right.
Because but it's nice when you can take that expense as well.
It is, but it makes it sound like, oh, well, I just get my $350 back, and that's not true at all.
Not really.
You gotta, you know, everybody's taxes are different. I'm not gonna give tax advice or anything, but generally, it's a very small portion of that $350 is what you actually, you know, will save on your tax consequences.
Yeah, yeah. And Max wants to remind us Lindor is now a Met.
That's true. He is. He's correct.
Yeah, and Dan says that's fine. He's a Met.
Well, that was why I said it, because he kind of like people with the Indians were Guardians, whatever.
Yeah.
We're like mad because he left. And, you know, by the way, do you remember the Cubs beat in the World Series in 2016? Can anybody remind me? I'm trying to remember. Do you remember, Charlie?
No.
I think it was a team from Cleveland. Huh. Do you know, Dan? Do you know, Dan? Does LeBron know? Ask LeBron. Let's see what LeBron
out of
knows. Also, I'm a Browns fan. I'm used to being burned. Yeah, I mean, you can't even make fun of the Browns. Like, there's no point in that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Their quarterback room is finally getting smaller.
I mean, you hired Deshaun Watson. Where the hell did you think that was going to go?
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Max says, maybe I'm cheap, but that's an expensive piece of plastic. Yep, it is. It is. Johnny says, if I was already a CDP user, I probably wouldn't have gotten into it.
Makes sense. It's like people who, that's why they say they're still on Apple, because they started with Apple. I think that's a poor reason to be on an inferior product, but a more expensive inferior product. But, and I said this earlier, Johnny, and I do truly believe it. I think this is great for you because it's going to motivate you to get your growth. You know, you're putting your money into it, so your money where your mouth is, which is always a big motivator. So I think it's awesome. If you believe this is the product that's going to move you forward, go for it. You don't have to do what everybody else is doing. And if it costs you a little bit more, but it grows your business, you know, you should be able to get it back.
Yep. And the other thing I've talked about is I envision I will use that device when I eventually start live selling as well. Instead of building up a little diorama studio type backdrop, I should be able to do it right inside that device. So,
yeah, you're right. They don't really market it that way, and I think they're kind of missing something with it.
Well, they market a lot for breakers. And they've got a whole channel for that in their software.
Yeah, because I didn't really even think about that myself much. And then you mentioned it, and I thought, you know, he's kind of right. That's like a nice little like studio, right? For your live selling show or whatever. It'd be nice if you could brand it a bit. Like you'd have to find a way to get JC3 there somewhere.
Well, I mean, I'll take a little sticker or something, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that shouldn't be terribly difficult, but that'd be
Yeah.
the one thing that I would say, well, it doesn't work that way. You have to add some branding, but um, try it. Try.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know this, Charlie, but this might be a good thing for you to do. You can do a trial whatnot show.
Yeah. Yeah. There's like a trial one to learn
Yeah, like a test one.
software and stuff. Yeah.
So I would try it with that and just kind of see what it looks like. And it kind of looks like the real show, sort of kind of has like the card listed there and the timer and all that stuff. You could try it to see how well it presents, and
yeah, that's
if
my
you can
plan.
add some branding to it. And
I don't think any of that's going to happen till after the football season's over, the way my schedule is. But
the thing I feel like with this is, and I know that Haystack says they have some proprietary like patents or whatever on this thing, but I mean, if this thing goes and people start wanting it, there's going to be tons of other ones out there, and they're going to be a lot cheaper.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm willing for what I'm doing right now and how much I have going on, and I'm not doing that much live either. And I just use my card stand with live, and it works fine. Versus another $350 to rent it. There's no way I would do that for myself. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah. And I looked at it as $300 to buy. I mean, I see no reason I shouldn't get 5 to 10 years out of this thing. It's pretty
we'll
simple
see.
construction.
We'll find out.
Yeah, we'll find out.
I was almost thinking you could even just, other than adding the vacuum and things like that, I was almost thinking you could even just scan it and 3D print it yourself.
Yeah.
It's not that complicated an object.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
all right. Max says better picks and speed should increase sales. So that's there should be a correlation there. Yeah. It's not guaranteed, but
I think it depends on the card. I don't know that pictures are always that important. If people know who you are as a seller and things like that. I believe having a picture is important, but the clarity or what stand it's on or something like that, I don't think is a big difference maker unless there's a question on condition or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. It's hard to get like good statistics on that because I saw an awful lot of cards that were not my best photo listings.
See, I struggle with that sometimes though, because you've talked about you want to be the Nike seller, not Skechers, right? But you wouldn't see Nikes just thrown on a table or so to me they kind of go hand in hand.
Have you ever been to the Nike outlet store? It's everywhere. I guess
that's
what I'm trying to
outlet store. That is not a premium store.
Doesn't matter. It's still Nikes. I guess I look at it like they're not necessarily the same thing. Like the Nike part is quality of product and good customer service and cutting edge products for sale, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Not the photo necessarily itself. And no, I'm not saying take a fuzzy photo with light reflecting all weird and I'm still saying take a quality photo. I just don't know that adding it through this box is like necessarily itself going to increase the sales.
Sure. That's fair.
I guess is what I'm trying to say. So I don't know. I can be wrong too, for sure. I mean, I'm not the be all end all by any measure, but stuff that I have that I know I can sell quick, I just take a quick photo, list it, and it sells within a couple hours. And so why put more, like Max says, anything that it takes you less time and this and that has value too, right?
Yeah.
Versus setting up the box or bringing it somewhere with me or whatever. If I can snap a quick picture on a table and get it sold, that's fine too.
Yeah. Okay. Boomslang says, how hard is it to get your card centered for the phone? Like no card holder. It's not difficult at all. Once you place your camera on top, you set your zoom where you want it for your border size. It's super simple. You just place the card on the holder, maybe one little nudge, and that's it. So Max says you get a discount off of what you bought, but spending to spend is goofy. Yeah, I think we all agree with that. There has to be a purpose behind the spending, right?
Yep. You could buy more cards.
That's true.
So there's always the thing where you don't have as much money for inventory. And that can be a big issue in business if you do it too much, for sure.
Yeah. Max says, didn't it grow by one recently too? Talking about the Browns QB room. I don't know. I know they traded Pickett, and then I thought they cut one of the veteran backups. But I don't recall them talking about adding anybody. Dan would know. And he says iOS Apple is 10 times better tech. Just stop.
No. Disagree.
So it's funny because
there's diehard Apple and there's diehard Android. I think they're just different. I just think it's fun to banter back and forth about it. I mean, why not? Yeah. It's the Brewers Cubs thing. It's in good fun.
It's funny because I view iOS Apple in the same way you're talking about this Haystack light box, in that, yeah, it's great. And it's a super easy user interface, which is what it was designed to be. So grandma and grandpa can even use it, right? But I don't think the extra cost is worth the difference in the technology. That's why I'm an Android guy.
Yeah, and a lot of the tech that they bring out is stuff that's been in existence in Android for periods of time. That's happened over years and years over time. But yeah, to each his own. If you're an Apple guy, you're an Apple guy. If you're an Android guy, you're an Android guy. It's fun.
It's funny because we all choose different things to spend our money on, right?
Right. They don't have a folding phone, so that puts me out.
We never really run out of ways to spend our money, though.
No. Capitalism is always going to be around.
Yeah. Johnny says he's thinking the same thing about using the Lightbox for live selling. And the card picks will be so much better than what you see on most shows or a lot of shows. I mean, there's a lot of variability in the shows out there and whatnot. I've seen some where it's tough to get a good look at the cards, and I've seen others that do an excellent job of it. But to me, it's a way to kind of standardize it, is the way I look at it. So
that does add value. If you're going to use it for live shows, to me, that adds some value.
Yeah.
So it helps you start to rationalize the price a little bit more.
Exactly.
Right.
And that's all the stuff that was going through my mind. The length of depreciation on it, the multi-use that I was envisioning, all that is how I reached that justification in the moment at the National and said, all right, I'm taking one home.
Now, to be fair, you could use the Goat Pen to do your live show too.
I could. And that was originally how I was thinking about it as well. The Goat Pen, as you know, is quite a bit bigger too, though. And one of the things that I always struggle with is a work surface that's just the right size and has the space for everything I want, but yet everything's still within an arm's length away. So the Haystack is quite a bit smaller and saves me a lot of space that way.
I wonder why they call it Haystack, because it looks like rolled up hay.
I don't think it has anything to do with that hardware. I think it was the name of their company before they even got to that.
Interesting.
And I think they really want to focus on the software more than the hardware.
Well, it sounds like they got a long way to go on the software, so we'll see what they do with it. I mean, I'm always open to that. If they come around and like that makes more sense than Car Dealer Pro, bye Car Dealer Pro. I can't be loyal to any of it. You have to run your business, so you have to always be open to other options, other possibilities, other ways to grow.
Right.
And their fees might be less. So there might be that too. I don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know because they don't tell us.
That is true. Wolfie Joe says Lazy Susan for card streams. I like it.
Yeah, I'd actually seen somebody do that where they put their stand on a Lazy Susan and they'll put the card on it and then kind of spin it. It's not a terrible idea. I mean, motion in the video does draw more attention too. When people are buying on a whim, let's say, which happens a lot on live selling. So
yeah, that actually reminds me. So I guess my personality is I tend to invest in more things in this, Adam, than you do. I think you're very cost control, and that's why you've been very successful. But I'm probably more risk accepting. So I get things like this for $10, which is a little battery powered.
Yeah, it's a Lazy Susan. That's what we're talking
about. Lazy Susan. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's exactly what we're talking about. Yeah. And like I said, I've seen that on shows, and it can be very, very, effective to sell a live card, especially something like that where it's lenticular and see-through and all that.
Yeah.
It's a tougher card to show off on just a static stand that doesn't move.
And that was exactly why I looked for something like this, specifically for those lenticular movie cards and stuff. Because I was trying to find a way that I could really display each of the images as a transition. So
now when I get a card like that and I list it on eBay, hold it up like this, take a photo, turn it around, take a photo, list it, and it sells.
Yeah.
So you got to decide where you want to put your time and your money and into those efforts, and if it's going to yield anything.
Sure.
I still feel like the card and the pricing and the branding, the trust, right? I still feel like those top everything else as far as getting a sale.
Yeah.
I've had listings before where, like, I don't know what happened, but I thought I attached a photo to the listing, and for whatever reason, the photo doesn't show, and I still sold it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It
happens.
Or the photo's upside down, or, stuff happens, especially back in the day when I was literally just taking a photo with my phone every time I was doing stuff.
Yep.
But you can still sell that stuff because you should be building a customer base that believes in you. And if you say you got this card and it's listed in near mint and it's a fair price, that's what they should receive.
Sure. Max says, not just talking dollar cards, though. If you get out of your price range, picks matter more than anything else. So higher end, absolutely.
That is a great point. I was referring more to our business model, of course, because that's who we are and what we're talking about. But You're right. Yeah, obviously, if you got fancier cards and you got to show off more aspects of a card, if you're doing a lot of higher end vintage, where you really need to show edges and corners and greater details of things, yeah, absolutely, the pictures are going to make a big difference.
Yeah,
I think pictures on vintage matter more than anything else because there's such variation in vintage. Even if you're selling lower end stuff, person who's looking for a $3 card to finish out a set or something, they still want the best copy they can get for $3, right?
Right.
So versus a Prism base Tom Brady card, they're all going to be virtually the same.
Right.
Condition. I don't think you have to get too involved in the photo of a card like that.
Agreed.
A lot of people list using stock photos. They don't even put a picture of the actual card.
Yeah, and I'm not a fan of that.
No, me either. I wouldn't do that either.
All right. Dan says the amount of here we go. Android versus iOS. Some more debate going on. The amount of issues I had with Android made me switch to Apple, as I wasn't a fan, and now I love Apple phones, and not many tech guys like me admit to liking Apple products.
Well, when I read this, to me, it says like you had a problem with a Android device, and that just kind of turned you off to it, which I can understand that, but I doubt you'd have that same experience if you got into another one, quality Android product. the catch with something like that is it's more open, right? There's different manufacturers that make phones versus Apple basically makes 2 different phones and that's it. That's all you can choose from to purchase from them versus Android. There's a lot of different options and you might land on a device that just doesn't really work for you.
Yeah.
Actually, a lot of people.
I like the Apple tech. I think it's solid.
Sure.
I just don't think that the premium for the brand name represents the difference in the tech.
And I'm a very much adverse. So I have some bias too in my decision here. I'm very much adverse to like the fanboy thing. I was just talking about this to somebody the other day. Like, I don't go to Starbucks and then go to Quick Trip for my lunch and then go pick up my iPhone. And, there's just people who live that like, this is what's cool now thing. So that's what I have. And that's not my thing. So that's always kind of turned me away from Apple, is the fanboy part of it. And like it's funny, I'll go in like Verizon, right? Because I want a case for my new phone. And for my phones, they'll just have, very functional cases, right? Not a lot of flash or anything like that, decent prices. And then you go in the Apple section and it's like Bejeweled, and here's a clear one with moving bubble parts, when you squeeze it. And here's one that has a little notepad attached to the back. And right, this one comes with a crown you can wear, so you're Queen Apple, like you can just tell there's like a separation there of their target,
Yeah. People camping out outside the Apple store for the new release.
Yeah, waiting for the video to come out where they announced that you can create your own ringtones, right? Which Android had done for like 10 years before that. So yeah, just the fanboy part of it, just that for me enough is like, okay, I'm really willing to look at something else because I just don't like that kind of thing.
Sure. All right. Johnny says, I'm only doing this for a couple more years till the wife retires. Famous last words. Just a side gig for me with way too many cards to get rid of.
It's interesting you say that, and then you spent $350 on a machine, higher tech machine, so you could list more cards. I think what you're trying to tell us is, okay, I'm doing this now. I'm putting big stuff into this now to get this thing done.
Yeah.
Right? Put as much effort, money, quality I can into this to get these things gone so that I can match the retirement of my wife. That makes more sense to me for your buy-in than anything else, really. Because you're seeing the added value through time, and I'm hoping this helps me sell the cards a little quicker with better photos, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
I can list them a little quicker if that's the case. That's great. I think that's great.
Max says most techies he knows swear by Apple, and a few are app devs, and they use both.
Yeah, I actually know quite a few people who have both too, which is interesting.
I think Apple versus Android is a generational thing more than anything, though. Yeah, maybe.
Could be. For me, what I especially like early people onto smartphones, like our generation is probably one of the first ones to get smartphones because they came out when I was like, mid to late 20s. I'm 47 now.
Yeah.
So like that's the age group really that's going to buy that new tech, right? You have some money, you have a real job, things like that, where you can buy a $500 phone, which at the time was a lot of money. And I think that's what you did, right? Because you were coming into this smart device, but what did we have before that? We had iPods and GPS devices and iPods, MP3 players, right? Yeah, same thing, but it's different brands. And then you had like your pocket organizer, right? Which was like your little like computer pocket organizer, your BlackBerry. Remember that stuff? So I think that's where it was like, okay, well, I use an iPod and I have iTunes, right? I have iTunes.
Yeah,
I bought a bunch of songs on iTunes. Nobody buys songs on iTunes anymore. But when the iPhone came out, you're like, well, I'm going to get that. I'm not going to get the Android phone because my iTunes are on there.
Yeah.
Right. So it just sort of like kind of kept you into this position one way or the other. I have never owned an Apple product in my entire life. So I had no reason to like stick with Apple or pursue Apple. Consequently, I had no Android products before Android came out, the first smartphone. But it allowed me to simply make a choice. right? I didn't have any connection to either one. And one of the main reasons I chose Android, and I'll admit this is stupid, but they had a Star Wars campaign, right? Because they were sued by Lucasfilm because of the droid. They called it Droid, right? That the first phone was going to be the Droid, and Lucas is like, no, I kind of own that word, so they were like, well, we could pay you off, or we could just collaborate, and we'll put R2D2 on the stupid box or something like that.
Yeah.
And I had even done an event in costume because I do Star Wars costuming for the Droid release. Remember the commercials that would go Droid? Because it would say that when it would boot up, and I'm like, this phone's fucking cool. Like that was it for me. So it depends on sort of what puts you in what direction, and I think if you started an Android, I don't know and you like it, there's really no reason to move to Apple, right? Just like if you've been on Apple forever and you like it, there's really no reason to move to Android. If it works for you, why would you need to change it? So
yeah. Max says Galaxies are the same or more expensive, and they're knockoffs of an iPhone anyways. I don't even know what a brand new phone costs because I refuse to buy a brand new release. I always buy like 2 to 3 generations previous because I will not pay more than $100 for a phone.
It really depends. It really depends on what's being offered. It's kind of like the new car versus used car thing, right?
Yeah.
So they kind of know where that line is. And sometimes you can spend just a little bit more and get a brand new one versus a used one. So then it starts to make sense for you.
I don't know. Every time I go in, I see phones at like $1,200 for the
newest. But that's like retail price. That's not what they charge you. So like I always do mine direct from Verizon. They give you like $1,000 credit for this. And I always trade my old phone in. So I always get rid of my phone when it still has value. So like my last fold phone, I think I paid $1,200 for it. Mm-hmm. And this one was obviously more because everything goes up every time, but I got an $800 credit for the trade-in.
Mm-hmm.
And I had that was a Fold 3. This is a Fold 7. So that phone's like 4 years old. So, if you do the math on what it costs versus if I let that phone die and then get a new phone, I got no value in that phone. Or you smash the screen. People like to break their screens. Don't break your freaking screens. You lose most of the value in the phone. Like I don't smash my stuff. So I always get really good trade-ins. So yeah, you have to, you got to decide again, kind of like the haystack, right? You got to decide where your investment needs to go. I use my phone for a lot of business things. I use it to do my YouTube videos. I do it to do a lot of my photography. The upgrading cameras on this thing was a big motivator for me. You're seeing my inside camera. That's why it's not quite as good here because I have it folded open. But the tech on the main cameras is pretty amazing on this thing. So that was a big motivator for me to just, at some point you have to get a new phone, right? I mean, nobody's phone lasts forever. And I felt like the tech increase on the 7 was big enough. And the thinness, it's credit card thin. I got tired of carrying around that chunky phone that pulls my pants down. So remember, my belt broke and I couldn't keep my shorts on at the National, and so that's a thing with that phone.
On the floor of the National.
Could have been. So, so yeah, you have to decide where you want to put those funds. And I use it for business, so I can use it as a write-off. How about that?
Johnny says he's also buying the iPhone 17 Pro Max as soon as it comes out. Pew pew. Dan says Browns are down to 3 QBs now: Flacco, Gabriel, and Sanders. They traded Pickett and about to release Huntley from Baltimore. There you go.
You know who's going to play? You know who's going to play most of the season, right?
Flacco.
Yes. Do not underestimate the Flacco. And if Teddy Two Gloves was there, he'd play in front of those other two guys.
Oh my gosh. Teddy Two Gloves has to
Robert Griffin III was there. He'd be playing ahead of those two guys. So, yeah.
I'm a big Dylan Gabriel guy. I'd like to see him get a shot.
It's just so hard for those guys, those super good college quarterbacks. I shouldn't say super good. They were on good teams. it doesn't always transfer very well to the NFL.
Yeah.
Most of the really good quarterbacks over the years in the NFL were not on. I mean, you got some exceptions. You got Joe Burrow, you got Justin Herbert, some of those, but most of them were on okay teams, nothing, no national title type stuff.
Yeah.
That really make it in the NFL.
Max says he uses his phone for tons of business, probably more than my iPad. Oh, you've got an iPad too, Max?
I don't need one of those because I have a device that goes like this, and it's got an 8-inch screen. So I get a tablet along with my phone. So so I use both too. So I use it when it's like this, and then I use it when it's like this when I need the tablet function. So all in one, I'm in favor of that.
Boomslang says, I had to walk the dog. How is the back scan? You have to flip the card and resuck it? That is correct. You still have to flip the card. Yep.
No, now you have to say it. What else does it do? You flip the card and then it what?
Resucks it.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. That's what I wanted. You got to resuck it. Oh, what's happening to us? It's getting late.
Max says, I don't spend much on business stuff anymore, though. Plus, I'm not Gen X or whatever you old guys are that don't know much about tech. Yeah, I guess.
I mean, we built the tech. I remember doing programming in DOS. Like most people don't even understand how the backside of a computer works. Yeah. They just click on an icon and it opens a program. What does it take to get there? Like we did a lot of that when we were kids. That was how you operated a computer.
You still programming in BASIC?
Heck no. Who does? Why would you? But I'll tell you, I've used in like prior jobs and stuff, I've used some pretty antiquated programs where it was really helpful to have some of that knowledge of, going into the main part of the computer to actually do something with it. So
sure.
I don't know.
Yeah. So you're a contrarian then? Shouldn't you be at US Cellular or Cellcom then instead of Verizon, AT&T?
No, because I don't think it's like cool to be at Verizon. I don't know if anybody ever has said it that way. And the main reason I use Verizon is because the coverage is better. I used to have Cellcom actually. And then I took my first Android phone to Chicago for a national, actually. I'm pretty sure it was. Yeah. And it didn't work for crap. I couldn't get any of the internet to load, and like calls was fine. But just the I don't think calls was good either. I don't know. The whole thing was just crap the whole time I was there. So I'm like, yeah, I'm done with that. I've been on Verizon. Actually, I know how long I've been on Verizon because I was literally on the phone with them today, and she's like, thank you so much for being a customer for 19 years. So I've had Verizon for a long time. Been very happy with it.
All right.
And remember back in the day, some carriers had certain phones and other carriers didn't.
Yeah.
Remember when there was like exclusive phones? And Verizon always had the phones that I wanted. So that, that kept me there too.
Nice. Contrarian or hipster? I think it's one of those. Definitely not hipster.
I'm definitely neither of those. No. No, I don't simply get something to be a contrarian. I'm just telling you, it turns me off from being in the, this is what everybody does crowd.
Yeah.
It is a con in my book, which makes it a pro on the other side, and just you stack up your pros, and that's how you choose something, right?
Yeah.
Your pros versus your cons. So contrarian on that type of thing is a pro for me for that type of product.
All right. Nobody knows. Saw a post for 250,000 non-sports cards for $1,200. What do you think, Adam? They look like they are from the 80s until now. DC Comics, Power Rangers, and several other cards.
So that puts it at what? Is that like an eighth of a cent? If I'm doing my math correctly, I got to get my calculator out, right? Oh, I suppose you got it up right there. I got to reach over the top here to get this.
Yeah, it's like half a cent, rounding up. Well,
Half a
no,
cent?
it's half of a cent, 0.0048.
Half of a cent. I mean, kind of a no-brainer if you feel like you'll at least have, you know, I mean, 80s non-sport stuff is good stuff. Like if you've got like Mr. T card or Mr. T cards, stuff from like those shows and those movies, Ghostbusters 2 stuff and Back to the Future and Star Wars and all that. Yeah, there's great markets for that stuff. Excuse me. So I'd be happy about that. DC Comics, unless you got Batman and Superman stuff or like inserts or holograms, if there's like anything decent in this, like above commons, yeah, for sure at a half a cent. Power Rangers, yes, absolutely. I'll tell you what, if you're, can you send me a link to that post? I would appreciate it. You can message me here on the Discord, or send it to my email. I'll say my email address on here. I don't really care if I get junk email. ptbenz@gmail. Send that to me. I'd love to take a look at it and see if it's something that I would be interested in, or do a split with somebody. I don't know. But yeah, I think there's be decent value in that. You don't see a lot of $250,000 non-sport lots.
Yeah,
that does not come up. So, if there's Goonies stuff, there's so many great products from those years. If there's any of like the more modern non-sport sets, like from Cryptozoic and Comic Images, and let's see, what are some of those other ones that Inkworks? They made some awesome sets of some different movies and shows and stuff, and yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
The other thing that's great about that stuff, most of it's scannable. So it's quick to just grab a batch, scan it, throw it in. Just grab a batch, scan it, throw it in. You don't have to spend a lot of time with the haystack on that stuff.
All right.
What do you think, Charlie?
I mean, you can't really go wrong at half a cent, right? Like there's got to be, with a collection that size, there's got to be some stuff of some value in there, I would think. So
yeah. And a lot of people who have non-sport stuff, they don't know like what stuff is valuable because it's weirder. It's not like, oh, here's a Joe Montana rookie card. Most people would look at that and go, I bet that has some value, because there's some general knowledge about sports cards that most people have. But a first-year Batman card or a Batman versus Joker card might have some value that you didn't really think about, but there's definitely markets for that. I don't know.
There might be like 50 Mr. Poopy Butthole cards in there.
I'm in. That's worth $1,200 right there.
Dan says, not in the IT business. It's all about PC and Microsoft or Linux. Apple is not a thing from the IT business side. And every time people see me use my phone, I will sometimes get the "ew, Apple."
I believe it.
Oh, not only does Max have an iPad, but he's also got an iMac. Is it a nice boutique color, Max? Did you get the nice brightly colored ones?
Does it have the clear shell so you can see see the computer working?
Yeah.
That's funny.
All out with that. I joke, but I have to admit that was kind of cool when they came out with that stuff. During that time,
and they got the money from people for it. That's for sure. Sometimes I watch those old commercials because I love, my thing. I like to watch runs of old commercials and stuff.
Yeah.
As a nostalgia kick, and it's like, this, and it's not just Apple. Like the IBMs, all that stuff were ridiculous. But it's like Pentium 2 with like 25 gigs of storage, right? Like we all have more than that on our thumbnail now.
Yeah.
Only $21.86 or whatever is the price. I'm like, $2,100 for that computer? Like, you can't even store your photos on it. It's crazy. Crazy.
Dan's got 4 iPhones and 2 iPads in his household. He's keeping Apple stock up.
Yeah, it's funny. We don't own like I said, we don't own a single Apple product in my house. Nobody's ever been on them or interested in them. Now, Luna last year, when she was at school, they got iPads, right? When I think most schools are doing that now. So she's like, and she's got some fangirl and boy kids in her class. They're like, oh, well, I got my Apple phone and Stanley's too. You got to have a Stanley, right?
Yeah, Stanley Thermos.
I got my quick trip, my Starbucks coffee, my Stanley
Hey, you
mug,
leave
and my
Quick Trip
iPhone.
alone.
It's got a fanboy following that doesn't make sense to me, but anyway, so she's like, well, and I was getting her a new tablet last year, and she's like, I need to get an iPad. iPads are the cool thing, and they do all the stuff and blah blah blah. So showing her the difference in prices and I didn't show her like tech specs. She's not going to be that interested in that. She just wanted to know. And I said, well, what are some of the games you like or some of the apps you like? And she's telling me, and I'm like, that's not even available on Apple,
Yeah.
Because while Apple has some things that are only on Apple, there's plenty of things on Android too. And so then she was like, I think we're going to get the Android tablet. I'm like, well, I think you're right because I'm not buying an iPad. So if you want the iPad, you're going to have to save your pennies because I'm not spending 4 times as much to get the iPad. And she loves it. She uses the tablet all the time. She's got an Android phone now, and she loves that. So we don't even hear about Apple in our house anymore after that. But it's funny because I knew that's what she was going to say. When she was getting into, her first gadgets and stuff, she'd be like, well, I need an Apple this and an Apple that. But yeah. So instead of just telling her, no, we don't do this, or yeah, we do this, or oh, your friend blah 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 has it, and you need to be cool too. Yeah, I'll buy you an Apple iPhone. We actually talked about it on how she wanted to use it, and the Android made more sense for her too. Plus, again, budget. Things cost money. You gotta decide where you want to put it.
It's no different than your kid. Well, I gotta have Nikes. If I want to be cool in school, I gotta have Nikes, right?
For sure. Yep.
It's just grown up versions of that, right? So
yeah, or Guess jeans, or do you remember? I was just thinking about this the other day because I heard a song that made me think of a lip sync contest we had in high school that some people performed. Do you remember lip sync contest? Did you guys have those?
Putting on the hits?
Yeah, we had a lip sync contest every year. But do you remember Cross Colors?
No.
Oh, so it was like urban wear, and it had like a little disc on it. It was split 4 ways, and it had 4 different colors in it. Okay, now I got to bring up a picture.
Did Chris Cross wear it?
Well, first of all, their name is not Chris Cross.
Chris Cross? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you mean the Rap Kids?
Yeah.
Yes, that Chris Cross.
But they had it on Inside
I thought you were making fun of Cross Colors. I'm like, no, it's Cross Colors. Here, I'll bring up this picture and you'll see what I'm talking about. This one's pretty good. Open image.
We have been derailed.
So what? This was a free-for-all tonight, remember? That was the whole point. Okay, here we go. Go back to StreamYard, share this screen.
All right.
Do you remember this at all? It was kind of a...
I remember those styles. I wouldn't have known the...
Yeah, so the color code...
kind of the same?
Well, it was they kind of ripped this off. Yeah, this was kind of more like Jamaican color inspired, right?
Yeah.
Remember Cool Runnings was big right around this time and all that. But anyway, I can remember like all these kids wearing cross colors, and I'm like, it's so not you. Like, what are you doing? It's because that's the cool thing on the shelf right now. But yeah, it's pretty funny. But that stuff is never ending. There's always stuff out like that,
Yeah, that is for sure.
And there's nothing wrong with, wanting to be a part of a fad too.
Well, as I said, we've kind of gotten derailed, and it is 10:30. So I think this is going to be our last chat, just to put an exclamation point on the evening. Oh yeah, Star Trek greater than Star Wars.
No. Star Trek. What is Star Trek?
You're killing me. I'm not over my illness yet. You can't make me laugh like that.
Yeah, no, definitely. I'm definitely not Star Trek over Star Wars. No, I like Star Trek. I have no problems with Star Trek. The big thing for me with Star Wars is the costumes are way cooler. So that's why I always, the storylines I thought were better too. They were also just movies where Star Trek was a show. You can't, unlimited budgets for a weekly TV show. You just can't do that much. Versus Star Wars could take their, few million and make something pretty spectacular out of it. But the big difference for me was the costumes. Star Wars costumes are awesome. Some great characters.
Uhura looked pretty good in that uniform.
The same uniform everybody else wears, black pants with a purple top with the little tricorder thing.
What are you talking about?
It was a different color. It was a different color. That's
totally different.
Totally different color. No, Star Trek is awesome. I love Star Trek.
All right. Well, we're pretty much caught up. Max does want to say, yes, he did the Star Trek on purpose.
Yeah, that's nice. Star Trek. So he's insulting both of them. He's saying it's better than Star Wars, and then he spelled it wrong on purpose. I like it.
And he does want to know what you like. What brands do you like?
Like, for what?
I don't know. In the course of our conversation about, Apple versus Android and, the cross colors. And so what is a brand you gravitate to?
I do like Nike. I've always been an Air Jordan guy. A lot of variety in the design of shoes, so I've always liked them. There's a fanboy angle to that, definitely. So I realize that. But I like them, so I've bought them ever since. Let's see what else for brands. For my coffee, probably Dunkin'. I like Dunkin' coffee. But I don't order like fancy coffee. I get like medium roast with hazelnut. Like that's it. I don't drink iced coffee. I don't do any of that. So maybe I'd be more Starbucks if I like the other kinds of drinks. Let's see what else for brands. Obviously I like Android. We've been through that.
You're a big Jeep guy.
I like Jeep. Yep. I really like my Jeep. Yeah, those are probably the big ones.
What was the hotel we stayed at? Hilton? You're a big Hilton guy for hotels?
No, the Hyatt.
Hyatt. That's it.
Yeah, I always like the Hyatts. Yeah. Hyatt World member. They've always given me decent prices. They always seem to have quality hotels. But I wouldn't say like if I we're gonna stay in this. What is it again? Holiday Inn, right?
Holiday Inn, yeah.
Like I don't care about that. Like I'm not gonna be like, oh, we have to stay at the Hyatt down the street instead. Like I don't care. But if there's like 4 hotels connected and one of them's a Hyatt, I would choose Hyatt, right?
Yeah.
Because that's what I mean. That would be my preference. But pizza, Giordano's and Lou Malnati's for sure. Favorite pizza brands. I like Nathan's for hot dogs. If I'm picking a brand of hot dogs, that would be my first choice. I think we all have brands that we like more than others. No matter what your reasoning behind it is. It just makes sense, right?
I don't have a lot anymore. I think I've gotten to that age where I just want what's comfortable and affordable. But I will say, like,
I would say I'm that way with most
things. I go to Home Depot or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think as you get older, you get away from some of that. You don't have to be cool and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, those are like the few where I'm like, that's where I would choose first.
Yeah.
Now, if I can't get to a Dunkin' and I'm going to like a Scooter's coffee, that's fine. I like that coffee too. Like, you know what I mean? I don't go out of my way. I don't drive past 5 different gas stations just to get to Quick Trip. Like, that doesn't do it for me.
I do that. I know exactly what I'm going to get at Quick Trip. Everything else is a crapshoot.
Like, what do you buy at Quick Trip?
I get the boneless chicken tenders.
Okay.
I know exactly what kind of breading to expect, exactly
Sure.
how juicy it's going to be.
And that's
I know
exactly how McDonald's built their business, right? I mean,
Yeah.
everybody knew, hey, I don't know any of these places, but I know what a Big Mac is, and I'm going to go get that.
Yeah.
So, which is good, but it's also bad because, like, when we were in Chicago, I'm like, Charlie, you're going to go get Portillo's. Charlie, you're going to go get.
Yeah.
You have to. I believe when you go places, you should go to things you don't normally go to.
Sure.
Even if you're a brand person. Now, for me, those were regular places for me, but I wanted to share them with you, right? So it's different, I think when you're bringing somebody into it, but I don't know. But I'm not like hugely brand specific on, probably Jordans would be like my biggest thing.
Yeah.
I just always like the fit of them. They're very comfortable. They're very high quality made. Lots of different styles. They look cool. I like the Jumpman logo. And I started wearing them like my sophomore or junior year of high school, and I've just worn them ever since. It's just my preferred shoe.
Yeah.
But click around and find out, y'all.
Nice.
Respect the chicken. It's getting late.
Nice.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, I got some work to finish up, and then I gotta get to sleep, man.
I know, I do too. My sleep hours dude, I was up till 2 a.m. on Tuesday. Took a couple hour nap, and I was right back up and getting going again, and I was like,
nope.
I'm dead. And I've kind of been catching up over the last couple days, but it just takes I'm getting older, and it takes me longer to recover from a day or night like that. Just like being sick, right? Normally you'd have a cold, you were done with it, and you're like, hey, let's go out to the bars till 2 a.m. And now you're like, no, I still need like 3 more days, okay?
Right? Yeah.
To get back to somewhat normal, and then we'll talk. But yeah, even the National, when I get home from the National, I'm bushed, It's not even like a high physical activity thing other than a lot of walking. Yeah. But it's so mentally stimulating, just so much going on, and then you're focusing on cards, and I'm doing margins in my head for resale, and you're looking at new products, right? Haystack, and going and talking to tech guys about your CDP issues, and like it's just it's a huge week of stuff. Sleeping in a strange place. I never sleep as well in a hotel as I do at home, which I think most people would say.
So, yeah, I think that's accurate.
Yeah, I mean, I fall asleep right away. I lay down and I go.
He's like not lying, people. Literally 2 minutes after he hits the bed, he is snoring.
I make myself tired before I go to bed. That's the key. You don't need no damn TV to fall asleep to, people. It's got to be actually tired. If you're not actually tired and you're awake, go do something. Use your time. Don't sit in the bed. Not adding to your sleep count, so I might as well do something. Get yourself good and tired, and then go, man, I'm tired. Lay down, and that's it. That's my secret to sleep life.
It's good work if you can get it.
Yeah. All right, that's enough. What else you want to add?
I think that's it for me. Remember, when you see the goat, we're talking some of the greatest of all time.
Can't sell what you don't list. Peace, y'all. See you next Wednesday, 8 Central Standard Time.